early to the second stream.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so
that's
we're going to be
fine.
in that afternoon stream early then. Yeah, so just keep talking here. I'm just watching Nvidia. Yeah, here. We're live in the afternoon stream now, apparently. Okay, shout out to that. Yeah, sorry guys for the technical difficulties. Thank you for bearing with us here. A lot of these Mag 7 names keep dropping lower. We have the Qs pushing. Oh, I just put 4 Qs in there instead of 3 Qs. Qs here kind of breaking below that earlier area of resistance. We had a little bit support resistance flip here at 480.20, pushing a little bit below that. So interesting look here.
Ram, show her chart.
Pushing lower. Let's see how this goes here on the market. But yeah, Q's below VWAP after having the chop and turn around 480.80. This is quite a day. Lots of ups and lots of downs here.
And Apple just rejected the volume weighted average price quite aggressively. Look at that move into VWAP on AAPL. It actually breached it by a little bit there. A nice move up and a good retracement off that 210 right up into 2/3 of a dollar, 210 and 2/3 all the way back down into 210 1/4 on its way to a fifth. It has been a sell the news kind of day today on Apple. Bad news coming in out of Europe, in case you're wondering. That was basically they're going to put off their AI release for the entire European market until next year, Adara. I hope people voted for that Apple ticker on the midday show because we want to be able to talk about it, I guess, on the afternoon rundown. I will see you guys all in 2 minutes on the afternoon rundown.
Yeah, if you didn't vote for the ticker, you're not going to be able to see your ticker. What a week we've had. I hope you guys had a lot of fun this week. I think it has been such a fun trading week. So many opportunities. Nvidia giving up the ghost pretty decisively here after having a lot of strength post-split. Let's take a look at that Nvidia daily chart because I think Nvidia and this breakdown on a lot of these chips as well. Micron, we'll take a look at Nvidia and then we'll look at Micron. Okay, sorry, this is weird because we're going to go to, so here we go. Since that split, yeah, we had a couple red candles here. I think, yeah, I just feel it's a little bit hard to see this chart because of the split. Let's take a look at Micron as well on the daily to finish off this day because Micron actually reporting next week. So that could be interesting here. Micron breaking nicely below that support of 141, losing that support below the 90 MA on the daily. I think a next level that'd be interesting on Micron would be 134. I know Danielle Shea was saying yesterday in the market recap, she's always a little bit skeptical of names that go ham into earnings, and Micron certainly did that. Lots of strength except for these last 2 red candles. So we're gonna have to wait and see what these chips do next week. Let the chips fall where they may. We'll see you guys next week, same bat time, same bat channel. Hope you had a great time today. But we're gonna see you on that green screen with Sharif.
Welcome to the afternoon rundown, the show where you have your say every day. We got the big kahunas, they're locked, they're loaded. They're ready to look at the names that you voted for on the midday show, so make sure to join Adara and I on How to Trade so you can get your vote in. Yes, the triple Qs were, almost that flat, marginally red. The NQ has been a little bit below 20,000 most of the day, waiting for that quad witching event at the close, and as well as the S&P rebalance though. Nvidia, tougher day mostly for the Mag 7 names except for a couple. Obviously, we saw that the XLK is going to be adding some of these Nvidia shares and removing Apple. So we're waiting for possible movement on Nvidia, guys. But here, 5.5 trillion in options are set to expire on the Triple Witching Friday. What is your look on Nvidia?
All right. Hey, and we're back. Hey, what's up, Obi? Yeah, what's up, everybody over there? Yeah, we've had a good, an exciting
Go back
midday.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, I feel like there's been tons of trading opportunities there. I went for a little bit of a walk. We posted up some stuff, but wow, did Nvidia go up and down. Why don't we start by talking about, really about the level that both you and I had mentioned over and over again, that 130 level. And we talked about that sort of, where we closed yesterday. We couldn't get back there. Then it got up there finally and completely fell back into where we're trying to get long again right now. We actually held some all the way back here and then started to average it in. So you got out, and we'll talk about that in a minute. But I was thinking of extension, man. I really thought 133, 134. So we thought we were doing pretty good there with that trade. Fell back in and got it. So we did have a $4 or $5 winner, but we averaged it back, made good money here until eventually it broke once on us, buying 127, and that's at the time where VWAP was. We talked about continuously defending VWAP one way, so we did it the other. Eventually breaks down, and now we're back into this long here off of a 126 bottom that it showed us. It doesn't have a problem holding. We'll see if it does into now. But yeah, Nvidia, what a crazy move today. And the thing about it too is, we still have to play that rhetoric back and forth in our minds about what's going to happen if there is a big sell imbalance or a buy imbalance on Nvidia due to the XLK. Will it come through? You know, was the selling over the last couple of days indicative of what might happen today into the close? Remember, all these rebalances are real fun and everything like that, but you still have quad witching, major options today, half year. So forget about individual names. The whole market is going to have a big target on its back today in and around 350. So Nvidia's, I'm looking at that right now. We're in the money, long off 126.
Yeah, no, definitely a big day. I think again, Wayne was saying in the meeting back there that this may be one of, if not the biggest, rebalancing in the past decade or so. So definitely a lot of interest on today's action. But yeah, no, Nvidia all the way up and all the way kind of back to where we started off at these places here. Some of these lows right above that 125, 126. So yeah, I guess some people were asking if I was still holding this trade. No, I got out a lot of it into this 129 test. And then I kind of stepped away, but that was definitely my fault. The trade was still on. We had finally broken out. We pulled back down to 27 halves and then redid it for that 130. And that 130 was something I was looking for. We were talking about this in the morning. I was like, yeah, if there's a place I do want to potentially look for a short, it would be around 130 to 133 in that 3-point range. And I'm not even there for the trade, so I got to get good with that one there. But, you know, it is what it is. Missed the trade. What's the next trade? I'm still kind of asking that. Maybe this area that was good to buy, these prices that were great to buy in the morning, maybe they show up again as a decent place to potentially look for the long. And I know Sean is already kind of exercising that idea a little bit here on top of that 126 on Nvidia.
Really tough day today for Palantir. As you can see, they're down and to the right, down over 7 4/5 right now after getting a bad comment from Monet, Crespi, and Hardit, basically saying they don't see enterprise AI unfolding in the exact same way as previously predicted, pointing to Salesforce and Workday as some examples. As you can see right now, big move down. Sean's in it. What's the look, Sean?
Yeah, so just if you come over here quickly, we did this for you, Sharif. We did a walk and talk today, so we're going to post that up hopefully on Instagram at some point. Nice. And I sent this to Ramin already. Can you spot the rabbit here? Where? Right over here? Up here? Down over here? Oh, right here. Oh, ding, 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 ding. Good one, Ramin. Ramin, you win.
Yeah, that's what I said. I was like, is that a duck?
I don't know.
And then I read the caption, and that kind of gave it away. I was like, okay, yeah.
All right, so we wrote down here on today's sticky note that we did want Palantir 2450 long. We got the downgrade, but it landed in support. I thought it did anyways, down 4 or 5% in the pre-market. So let's just see how we traded Palantir today. We like those levels for sure. So there's 2450. The reason why we liked it, I'll go over it. We're short now, so I feel pretty good about it. I mean, I don't feel good about this number down 8%. Like, what? For all this Palantir love. We sure have a lot of hate today. But anyways, fell back in. This is the level that I thought was going to hold OB 2450. It didn't. That goes all the way back to the 12th, so just a week and a bit. Didn't hold that level. We tried it, and it was pretty good for a while. I mean, it's right where the 200 period is. It bounced around. It was trying to hold, and then eventually it broke through. So I was actually fortunate enough to now have a different play in my toolbox, and that is that here comes the short, right? And I'm just piling into the long. Why? Because there's that 2450. So there's the level that we just talked about on the longer time frame, 2450, right? So there it is right there. That's the level here. So when we look back, whoopsies. Oh, here comes the low rate back up. You know, watch this. Abracadabra. Zam, there it is. Oh, Google though, wrong stock. Okay, go like that. Oh, don't crash. And here we go. All right, so we just flipped it up, long story short. We got hit, we tried it again at 2035s, we tried again at 25s. We're down on that one. Then we waited for VWAP. Obi, we already saw this top already, 2450, plus we knew it was a red day for the stock, plus the market turned red. So I was just like, I'm turning red. And we did that. It didn't break that high. We could have reloaded it here, but then it falls right back down in. It took us a minute to get it, but there it is. It's Palantir. It's great. It's 24.31. We're short. It's 85 cents in the money. Just to be able to flip it over was the big thing there.
Yeah.
And Neil says it all the time. He's not here right now, but one thing to be wrong, one thing to stay wrong. So right there, we flipped it over and not stubborn at all this time with Palantir.
No, I like that. I like that. Definitely gotta respect the action when it's there. And is it definitely there? So it's like, okay, we got a strong sell-off yesterday. We had some news in the morning, some downgrades, and then a continuation of this bigger picture trend. Oh, okay, a bunch of lines just show up right there. But yeah, you guys get the gist right there. So a little bit of a continuation off of yesterday's strong selling coming in on Palantir today, and then I guess VWAP sellers definitely very, very dominant on the day, making lower highs off of these pre-market levels. So it doesn't necessarily want that 24. And yeah, the solid switch up, Sean, there for the short side as it is kind of coming in and working out there. What is this line here? It's probably an anchored from prior earnings. If I just go, oh, thank you. Nice. All right. So I think if I go a little bit further back, maybe that'll get it in. Yeah, it's one of the earnings anchors. Yeah, right there. It is the prior earnings anchored on that one, or one of them, I guess. But yeah, nice little trend to the downside, kind of given to you with acceleration in the pre-market off of that catalyst for sure.
Before we go back, just want to say thank you to JC Elter, a brand new member. So awesome. Thank you so much for that one. JC Elter, make sure you hit the like and subscribe, and thank you for becoming a member. Back over to you, Sharif.
Nexalin Technology, Sean, what a move up for it today, about 60% right now, well above that at its highs. Great headline. I love to see stuff like this. You just hope it pans out. They got a patent by the U.S. Patent Office for their deep intracranial frequency stimulation device for the treatment of Alzheimer's and dementia, guys. That is an admirable headline. Good look on the day. You guys look at this one today?
I see what you did there. You know, the cranial and the headline. Okay, all right, cool, nice. I like that. Yeah,
very impressive.
I don't know. This ticker wasn't necessarily on my radar, but definitely doing the moves with significant relative volume over 8 times. You can see the towering volume bars, and I guess the move kind of started off a little bit early with that RVOL coming in a few days ago. So interesting stuff indeed. Some of these biotechs, like I just feel like somebody always knows. I mean, the chart is very telling at times.
Yeah, I wanted to bring up to everybody's attention here, and I'll get to your question, Aaron and Joanna Brewster, in a couple seconds. And Obi, we can even talk about the rebalancing. There's just a question about what time and when all that happens. So both Obi and I should be okay for that one. 340% on Nexalin this year. So, you know, I understand that there's going to be some profit taking. Doesn't look like there's that much short float as well. Only 13 million market cap. I mean, tons of room to go here. Not much cash, which makes sense. You know, to look at this name and try to talk about it, I mean, I appreciate it. Today, obviously, we're on all these tech names. But again, like, I think the same thing is true of all this. It's like when you get those major headlines, you just kind of want to wait for volume to start to die down a little bit. And I just feel like down into here it was dying down. So it would make sense to get something out around 220, 230. If you didn't do that, you got another spike basically back into highs of 250, 260. So I would, if I was in this name, first of all, I mean, I don't know where you're in, but might be a good profit zone. Just looking at the daily, at the 1 minute chart right now. And then the other thing is, if you want to wait, just put a volume scanner up and start to wait to see when this goes, because you don't want to get stopped out just on low drifting volume. You know, so I would still stay on this. The daily chart, I think we just sort of looked at that. This has already been up here and didn't hold, and that's 177, 175. So I would think a close above these levels right there would mean something. So a close above 180, and then even if you want to get a little bit more, you know, close above its last highest close in and around 164, 165. So needs to hold those levels. If it can do that, then I think this has legs into next week. So yeah, NXL, again, great headline. We love it when it's science-based. So NXL, let's hope that these results stay put, and hopefully they get bought out.
The SPY next, guys. Keep your eye on this one. We have a rebalancing day today. Obi's going to get to that in a second. But as you can see here, down 0.5%, essentially flat on the day, both on the NQ and on the ES. It was kind of a wait-and-see kind of day, Ob. What's your talk here about the rebalance?
Yeah, no, definitely. So it's a strong rebalancing day. We kind of talk about this quad witching as well. But yeah, no, they were asking what time the rebalances happen. So if you guys watch the show, you guys know that the imbalance kind of gives us an update in around 50.
50, yeah,
and then the pairing event around that 355 mark. Going into the close. So yeah, no, Spider definitely interesting on watch for me. Again, 550 were all-time highs as of prior trading day. And again, I was talking to these guys in the morning. I was just like, yeah, I started getting alerts for the Spider at 4 a.m. off the 4 a.m. open, that it was doing some significant R-vol. So I was like, yeah, definitely it is potentially setting up for that big rebalance that you can see that relative volume. Sure, it's not doing too much volume, but in terms of relative volume, it is doing quite a lot since 4 a.m. in the pre-market, and then kind of starts to delve down and balance out throughout the day there, and holding a couple of these bottoms from before, right? So this was a bit of a shelf here. 543s, 543 halves, and then on the pullback, we're consolidating above this prior, I guess, consolidation as well. Intraday consolidation happening right now on top of this 543 there, Sean.
Yeah, so I was just looking because this is something that we'll be showing you guys throughout the afternoon. So this is the imbalance locator. By the way, I just took another piece out of Nvidia. Nvidia is having a hard time getting through this 126.50 area. But like KKR is being added, right? So there's KKR right now with a buy of 20 million shares, 21 million shares, and it's going to keep getting updated. Look at all the millions of shares that are sitting right now ready to be executed against a market on close trade. So, I mean, that's 20 million of $100 stock. You know, it's like there's a lot of money, and there's already been 15. So that's already 20 and 15. That's already 35 million. So, you know, there's names like GoDaddy. We talked about CrowdStrike and whatnot. We can see what CrowdStrike's doing. I know PanW got upgraded today. Most of these moves, though, it's hard to judge them. Like CrowdStrike is down today because most of this move upside in some of these names, you can probably see KKR as well. If I look back on this, a lot of this move has already happened because they've already announced these additions and deletions. So a lot of the move has already been taken into place because as soon as they're announced, then they get front run. People start to buy them ahead of the move. So we'll just keep updating this, and then at 350, it'll be all hell will break loose. Trust me, I don't even want to be in position at that time. We saw yesterday Nvidia show up with 8 million shares to sell or something like that at the close. Let me just call up Nvidia here just quickly. And this is because we're talking about the S&P 500. There's a big rebalancing day, right? So we're long Nvidia. We just took some out. Look what happened yesterday. Look at this huge volume at the end of the day. That's another 28 million shares. 30 million shares at the end of the day, right? So here's 350. Look, this is when it came out yesterday. It was at 132.50. This is the price of Nvidia. Nvidia's going up, right? No, says the market on close and balance. And then this is 350 right here. Look, it was an 8 million share sell in 1 minute. Let me zoom this up. This is just yesterday. Like, you're not even anticipating anything yesterday. So in 1 minute, this goes from 132.50 down to 131.12. So $1.30 yesterday, and then it kind of stops and then just continues to sell off all the way in, even into the aftermarket, right? So again, on that imbalance yesterday of 8 million shares, it went from 132.50 down to 130.75. So down $2 immediately there into the close yesterday. And we're expecting fireworks today. And we're expecting fireworks right now. We've got a nice little bid here on Nvidia. See if we can get back up to the upside. I'm expecting a buy on Nvidia today as it's getting very, very, look, even though people are underweight Nvidia, they're now going to have to put more into their portfolio because if you're tracking the XLK, it's going to have to be reweighted to the upside, dropping some Apple, dropping some Microsoft, adding some Nvidia. So maybe now we get a little bit of tailwind, Obi, into the close for this. Let's go back over to the screen with Sharif and talk about another one, Google.
What a day Google had today, Sean. 2.5% right now was up more at the highs. It retraced a little bit on the midday show. For whatever reason, it found support at the 50 period on the 5. No real headline today to account for this move, but it has been a little bit anemic lately, hanging out near all-time highs. Did you guys trade this one today?
Google, yeah. So, yeah, I'm in Google, and it's actually turned out to be quite the trade again here. And it was actually just as we went off air. It was just at 11 o'clock. We were looking at this name, and remember, and me and Obi were like, oh man, Google is just strong. And I'm like, oh yeah, past 52-week highs is 180.40. We're probably gonna take that. You know, end of the day, it's a nice dip into here. We were able to take advantage of a dip by opportunity. We saw this 179 area, Obi, we liked it. And upside moves right there in Google. 179 long, there's an out at 180, there's an out at 180 again. We weren't here during this dip, I don't know if I would have bought it. We're gonna stay long against VWAP, but so far so good here, Google. Good trade for us. We don't have that very top, but we're still in it, and we're long, and it's Google, and I like the stock again, man. I mean, this is a big holding for myself. I feel like the AI is AI, so, you know, let's just keep going with it.
Yeah, no, I definitely agree with that one. There, and yeah, I'm looking at the weekly chart here on the goggle, and you can see how strong it is, right? So since last year, since 23, we've kind of picked up on this bit of a fade, and then continued this overall trend as well back to the upside. So this is, again, the weekly, very, very strong, and yeah, pushing all-time highs as of this week. So let's kind of go down and see what some of those levels might be there. So I know that there was earnings just a couple of weeks ago right there. Yeah, boom, right there. So earnings reaction high, 181.82, kind of rips up in the after hours and fades off, consolidates sideways since then, but a nice little slow creep back up towards those highs, making higher highs and higher lows, pushing into that 180 level. So we got some of that, what was this, last Wednesday, June 12th, and then we push up, kind of doing a bit of a lick grab today, but very, very strong on the day. Again, not acting anywhere near like what the market is, distinctly different price action to the upside here on Google, super, super strong. Let's see if we can get to that 181 soon enough. With the way this is poised on the weekly chart, it seems like it won't be taking too long there.
Yeah, good trade there, Rivian Millionaire. Bought some Google yesterday, 176. I mean, I'm not, all the trades that I'm in are like longer term trades. I don't have the capacity to sort of be sitting here trading every day and entering and exiting swing trades and doing all that. So I just sort of trade what we do on the show. Sometimes I'll hold and I'll make calls and I'll let you guys know when I'm getting in and out of things. But for me, for Google, I don't plan on getting anything out anytime soon. You know what actually Google reminds me of, Obi, where Apple was really just trying to get going, and then eventually news hit and it got going. So I feel like there's something, you know,
waiting for something.
Yeah, it's like patiently waiting to go. We could check out what Google, I think you gotta go GOG here. Yeah, price earnings of only 27. It's not, is it the same for Google? I know it's a little bit different. Yeah, they don't have it on Google, that's why. And then just as opposed to Apple, 33, right? So, I mean, when you're talking about PE ratios, Google's cheaper than Apple. Nvidia's, depending on which one you're looking at, gets really blown out. But Nvidia's a little different beast when you're looking at price to earnings, because they're actually delivering on their revenues and their earnings, and margins aren't depreciating. So I feel like Nvidia's maybe a little bit of a different story there. Meta has always been a little lower in a PE, but still above what Google's is right now. And the other one, Amazon, let's check out what their PE is, 51 again. So I feel like Amazon gets a lot of credit, obviously, because of AWS, but then we have to give Google, like, Google doesn't need a PE of 51. I mean, if it had a PE of 51, this would be a $400 stock. So it's not going to get that. But at the end of the day, it deserves more than 27, in my opinion. You look at Oracle and some of these other names, and I don't know if there's any even comparisons to a Google. But again, talking my own book, I do own that one. So, all right, 221. We're going to get a list of names here on you know, what are the bigger ones that are being added and removed. So we'll get that list to you guys in a bit. All that action really starts to take I guess cover at around, I like to say the more these get updated. I mean, the time is right here, so they are getting updated. But again, like KKR is still 20 million. These aren't really going to change. So I was going to say at 3 o'clock, and then again at 3:20, and then again at 3:30 as we get closer and closer to the end of the day. And then again, you know, with options have to be expiring and all that kind of stuff, closing out of positions, like this could really happen at any time. So you're just waiting for outsized moves. And actually, like we're $1 in the money on Apple. Oh no, my chart's not going to, oh, it is going to load. So we were just shorting up here, and Obi actually came back. I think you were talking with some of the boys back there. And Obi's like, oh my God, Apple just dropped like that? And I was like, yeah, it was based on the EU news there about not getting their AI approved in time for their new phone. I don't know if that story is going to be happening or not. I didn't really read it. It seems a little fishy to me, but anyways, drop back into 210 again, right? So I thought this little drop that happened so quickly on this volume was somebody liquidating one of their positions before the close, but then we got that news story, so I kind of just laughed. But look at that big candle, Obi, about how major that is. Like, there hasn't been a volume since then, and then when you zoom back out, look how it pales to the opening print. You know, like, we want to talk about this opening print here, 15 million shares. Like, we've only done 50 million shares. So already just one opening print there, or at least the opening, I don't know, I guess the opening print would have been less because this is the whole minute. But needless to say, there's going to be a ton of volume coming in. That KKR, by the way, has only done 5 million shares on the day. Okay, and since we've been talking about it being a buy imbalance, it's gone up about $1.50. So you guys asking me about this 5 minutes ago, and us showing you this, where do you think this is happening from? Oops. Aha, you cannot see the symbol because I've... Anyways, let me just make this bigger because we all care about what the symbol is. So there it is. Like, there's the buy. What's happening on HPE here, Hewlett Packard Enterprises? Let's see if there's a bid in that. Yeah, I mean, it's catching a little bit of a bid. Archer Daniels Midland. This is our boy, not Ralph. What's his name, your friend? Alfred. Look at Archer Daniel Midland here. With that bid that's been happening here. Do we want to look at BlackBerry? Nah, let's pass on that. Let's see what UiPath has been doing since 2 o'clock, since we sort of disseminated this information.
Nice.
Maybe we just got to get long. AMC with a baby bid here of 4 milli. That's not moving.
It's not.
All right, hey man, maybe KKR on dips. You want to buy KKR on dips? I mean, this looks like a decent opportunity here on a 1 minute chart. KKR, we know it's being added.
Yeah, I feel like that buying definitely stepping in. Like, look at those candles, right? Distinctly different. It's like a grinding.
Right there, look at this.
A bidder on that, on the.
Yeah, I'd say there's some kind of a bidder on that one.
There might be a bidder there, where the candles they look very like a mechanical, just opening above one another, and just, you know, just like, all right, well, there might be some steady buying is what that's showing.
Apparently, Ramin was downloading a bunch of stuff, so the stream. We apologize for Ramin. She was on the Wi-Fi. That's what I heard. Someone told me that. Anyway, stream problems fixed. Stream problems fixed.
Okay, that's good. Yeah, no, I heard that we're having a bit of a lagging problem.
I just don't want anyone to think, you know, like we're ready to go here. Yep. We'll be up and running. Everything's all solved here for the close. You know, because sometimes when things buffer, it's like people get all nervous and stuff. So if that does happen, just restart or something. All right, so I don't know. It's easy for me to sit here and talk a big game and say, oh, well, Archer Daniels Midland or KKR or all these names are just going to keep going to the upside. Well, you know what? Let's try it right now. I'm going to, not ADM, sorry, KKR. So there's KKR. We already know about this story. Let's see if we can get a couple shares, buy a little bit here, get in, punch in a little bit, see if it wants to go up to the upside right now. And we'll see where we go. So right now, KKR, we'll try it. We'll take a couple pieces here. And of course, as soon as we push bid, it starts to come back in. Let's just figure out a way where we're going to get out. I'm not too worried about the imbalances. Honestly, if this breaks too much below like 106.90, let's just see if it wants to go here. We know that there's a buyer, and we'll try it off of this imbalance. And it's not something that we're going to sit in because, again, at 350, when it gets published, it could completely flip. Right, so we don't want to necessarily be, and here comes downside. We don't necessarily want to be in this name for too long. We'll buy some more. We just took it for fun there. We'll buy some more against 106.80, and here it comes back in right now.
Yeah, no, Yo, what's happening? How you doing?
Yo. He's doing good, man. He got a coffee. We talked about this. This guy got brisket today and everything. So
Okay, nice.
He's living his best life there, Randy.
Was still brisket on the weekend or no?
Oh, I don't know what he was jonesing brisket, so he went and got it there. Then I saw him outside. He's like, "Oh, I got brisket." I'm like, "Dude, okay."
I had some awesome brisket last weekend.
You did?
Yeah. I think we might have talked about this. Yeah, Friends Barbecue.
Oh yeah. Because I know Brendan was having a good brisket as well there.
I guess it was brisket weekend.
It seems like it was a brisket bonanza there for
the weather was
Trader
absolutely
TV
beautiful.
Live.
for
I'm gonna have to have
barbecues
some of
and
that.
stuff. But I don't have too much
right, here we
else
go.
on watch as of right now. Again, we keep talking about this 20,000 level on the NQ, and it seems like it's staying interesting as we've been pretty much printing sideways with some volatility, 40 points to the downside, or 60 points to the downside down here, and then 40 points to 60 points above as well. So nice little chop and churn. You can see some of these levels here that we've printed. But yeah, it's just kind of consolidating, orbiting around that 20,000 as some of these other tickers do their own thing. And yeah, Sean, there's one that we talked about this morning, and I did put it up on my like in play. Yeah, you definitely got to risk it for the brisket there. I like that
was
one.
funny. Someone said that. Yeah, sorry. Go on. What were you saying?
But Hertz, remember?
Yes.
Hertz was hurting this morning off of that longer
pretty good
term
one.
trend, but look at this continuation that it's been having all day long. So we had a bit of that. We had a bit of that news in the morning. I think they also did like a notes offering as well, 750 million, and you got a nice ARV all day pushing back up. And I was like, yeah, this is potentially breaking the downtrend that we've been having for when is this? Since May, middle of May. So May 14th, right here. So a little bit of toppy action right there, and breaking out of it as of yesterday. Nice little pop into the close and continuation, breakout consolidation, and then another continuation towards this 408 level here right now, 409 being the high of day. So it's pretty much right there at the high of day. Now, how much volume is this thing doing? I am asking. It's doing about 11.6, where the average 30-day is about 8.5. So yeah, it makes sense that this is doing some decent relative volume as well on the day. But Hertz to the upside. Have any of you guys traded Hertz on the day? I know we were talking about it during the rundown in the pre-market. I did not have eyes on. Again, I kind of I put it up on my in-play chart layout, but didn't really care to look at it as we were a little busy, preoccupied with the momentum on Nvidia. And maybe just watching some Apple as well. That Apple, that 212, again, sideways chop, looking a lot more like the NQ and the ES relative to some of these other tickers there. Google, for example, very, very strong on the day. I'm looking at some of these other chip names as well. Nothing too crazy. Of course, we got Nvidia on watch. We're watching this 126. Again, I liked some of these prices. We saw what happened at that 125, some distinct price action occurring at that 125. If you go back and look at the volume candle that happened on the breakthrough and the rebid through that 125, some decent volume as well, potentially marking that it could be a significant level. And so far, it kind of has ended up being that as Nvidia bid up over 5 points, pushing off of that 125, 124.30s. I think is the actual, 124.30 I have here is the low right here of this wick candle. And over 5 points of a push off of that. But now consolidating on top of 126 is there, Sean. So it seems like this VWAP selling on Apple is still there, dude. Like, it's like we saw that it was struggling in the morning, couldn't really get to that 212 we were watching, and then comes back into VWAP right there once again, and then catching a little bit of a sell here as the market tries to test this 20,000 again. So let's see if we get a push off of this 20,000. Maybe this consolidation, this little bit of chop that we've been having on top of this 26 will break out to the upside. I'm still watching that 127. We saw what happened in the pre-market at the opening session off of that 127, and then also a lot of volume going on. VWAP sellers definitely very dominant. I was not respecting that. Get a little lucky and push right back up, holding higher lows relative to that 125 a lick grab that we had. Quite aggressive and euphoric price action on that sell-off into and through that 125 on Nvidia this morning. But yeah, I'm going to be patiently waiting for what the next trade is. I have no idea what it is as of right now. I got my scans up. I got my charts up looking for potential plays off of prior structure. But I think the bigger trade, Sean, is a potential move into the close off of the big rebalances we're going to be experiencing today.
It's going to be sick. I just tried to short 211. As you're talking about it, I'm like, get me short, get me short, get me
right
short.
There.
Yeah, because I looked at it and I said, I want to be short Apple, and it's not getting to 212. Yeah. Like literally everything you were saying, Obi, I was like, yep, I'm trying to get it. I'm trying to get it. And I'll show you. Like we'll probably be back into this name in a couple seconds if it comes back up, as my offers are littered here. And I just wanted to try that 211 and then stop out. And then if it comes back up, then we'll get it again. That was my thinking. I didn't want to like be into something where we have to wait for it and be wrong forever. I just wanted to make a trade that I thought could work. We just retraced back to the 50-period moving average, so that is a $1 winner right there. So, we've already taken more than $1. This is $2 actually, or $1.50 down here at 210. But we've held 210, so far so good on that one. All right, that's that. Nvidia, I want to be long and stay long. I want to get more long. Anything down to 126, we good on that. We took a hit on KKR, but not really. We're flat on the stock right now, but we're long right here at 107.08. It did drop down. We talked about getting out at, my stop is at the 50 period right there, so it didn't come close to it. We may have to change that as now it's at 50. It was at 40. I'll keep it at 40. Let's see if KKR wants to go up. And again, the reason why we're long that one is because we're just here to play the game, and we're going to see if it does continue to stay a bid and even grow bigger than that. So 21.34 million shares with the ad coming through on that one. So I'll show you up something in a minute once we get that all going. ADM looks like it's paired off a little bit. So there's ADM. Remember, it was a lot bigger than that. I'm hearing that GameStop is pulling back in a little bit right now. So let's go over to GME and have a look. Yes, 24. Okay. All right. Well, this makes sense, guys. Look. Okay. Alert, 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 everyone. We hit that siren. It means like I'm entering a new position, or we got to say something. There comes GameStop. So GameStop's coming down in. Now remember, this is options expiration. Yes. Wasn't Roaring Kitty's options expiring today? Wasn't it June 21st? Is the Friday? Right. So, okay, if he's long at $20 or whatever it is, something's happening now. I don't know who's,
he already covered his position. Like he sold those calls, but I'm sure there's still kind of
other people that have hopped on, he could have bought more. I don't know the whole story, but people in our chat would. So we'll wait to hear from them. But there's a nice move in for GameStop coming back into 24 and change. So we hadn't seen these levels. I'm still waiting for this level, but we haven't seen these levels all day, unless that was from the morning. Let me see if I just apologize there. No, so this morning, no, that was 24.60. I guess it was sort of yesterday. This little bottom area that was bought up around 1 o'clock yesterday was right here. 24 and change. So we'll have to keep an eye on GameStop now. Maybe it'll start to get bought back up to the upside here. GME continuing to go. Look at Apple too, man. Apple continuing to drop in here. I feel like this is a name that we're going to have to short. I might just short it against the 50 period and just add to this position against that 210.50. Maybe we just play off that level and see if we get a little bit lower. Let's try some Apple right now.
Yeah, those view up sellers are coming in real hot there on Apple. Somebody in the chat was saying Netflix is a sell here. So I did pull it up and I'm like, all right, well, what is this person talking about? I forgot who it was in the chat. Sorry about that. I kind of scrolled up, but couldn't necessarily find your name once again. But it's been bidding up since about, 11:30 today. Bit of a V-shaped recovery. Yesterday, of course, selling off with the rest of the market, but it seems like it's found a bit of a base just above, in and around this 677s to 680s right here. Now, something I do want to note is that Netflix is kind of on its way back towards all-time highs. So again, former glory, 701, right? So we saw what happened when, I think this was the whole subscriber thing. This was this was a few different things there. So at the end of the year, 21, and then a lot of the beginning of 22, all the way up until May or June, where it finds a base. Netflix sold off quite aggressively back to back there. Again, this is a weekly chart, and we've been trending up overall, again, on a weekly, on a monthly, and on a yearly as well. Take a look at this. This price action happens from 2022 to 2024. So almost a 2-year trend on Netflix, all the way back up to all-time highs there at 71. So we're only about 15, 16 points away from that as it's trading at 685s. But yeah, I don't know about a sell in and around here, but what I'm seeing on the chart, the limited information I am able to interpret, it seems like this is kind of raging to the upside on a higher time frame there. Again, wouldn't want to step in the way of that one, but that 701 might be 701. Yeah, I think. Yeah.
Look at KKR.
KKR. Oh wow.
Look at that. Look at KKR.
Okay. Boom. All the way back up.
I mean, look at this. We just talked about it. It's a buy imbalance. We have the numbers, and we talked about this name getting bought up here. So there it is, man. KKR just like letting it scream to the upside right now. There it goes, man. And again, I want to thank, whoopsies, I want to thank the super chat right here. Yo, what's up, West Coast? West Coast is the best coast. Love you guys. Best stock market channel on YouTube. Good luck to Nvidia Logs. Appreciate that, sir or ma'am. We really, really appreciate that. Thank you so much for all of that. And by the way, okay, Obi, guess what we are?
Reloading.
It's almost not even a reload. When you help push it down, it's more like, okay, we're getting more short. And I just said, look, we want to be short Apple into that close. So let's wait to see if that happens. I am getting out of Nvidia here. I know we're saying good luck to Nvidia longs, but Nvidia is actually supposed to be a share decrease today. It's just more about the fact that we are thinking about the XLK versus Apple relationship there. So I'm actually going to cancel some of these Nvidia longs and get out when Nvidia breaks below right now this 125.84 area. Random. Just breaking 126 there. We're going to get out of that one, but this KKR is just a monster. Like this was, wow. Honestly, we talked, I mean, Obi, we're trying to do things. Remember we said we're keeping things as simple as possible. Mm-hmm. We're trading very few names, man. Obi and I, like so far today, Palantir, which we got out of, Nvidia, like, all right? KKR, right here live in front of everybody. Google, $1 in the money. Apple, end. That's it. Yeah. That's it. It's not 20 names, it's not 40 names.
Exactly.
It's trying to be as specific as possible. It's doing our work. I know you're going to show your work there, which I think you should do. And it's also understanding what day it is. I mean, right here on the sticky note, today is S&P rebalance. Like, boom. We knew it was going to happen. Here's KKR. I think I can show this here a second. I'll just show what Wayne quickly sent me here. And it's not, this is not proprietary or anything like that. So right here, we'll just show this real quick, and thank you to Wayne. Can I get it? No, I'll have to do it different. But anyways, you'll be able to see it here, KKR. Right, KKR. It's hard to see right now, but I'll get this in a better situation. But anyways, it is a share increase. So when we saw it on there, we already known about it. So there it goes, upside take there on KKR. We're slowly getting out of it, but it's a positive name, so we're happy.
Yeah, nice trade there on KKR there, Sean. But yeah, definitely one of the top names for buy imbalance going into the close as it's being added to the S&P 500, along with CrowdStrike. So yeah, this is definitely public knowledge, and we're seeing some price action coming in off of that as well. Yeah, no, something I wanted to kind of reiterate on your point earlier was, today I was just, again, quality over quantity, right? That's huge. I only had one top idea today, right here, and that's Nvidia. I didn't really have anything else. Sure, I had a bunch of other tickers that are in play. I had DJT, I had Hertz, I had Micron, CRM, Apple, Nvidia, and Guild, GILD as well. But I only wrote down a proper plan for Nvidia, and that's the only one I really took trades on today. But I was watching Apple. Again, now it doesn't necessarily mean that I'm not going to be taking any other tickers. It just means that that's my top idea on the day. And if it sets up, I definitely have to, I guess, push into it. And push into it a little bit I did. But again, it doesn't necessarily work out as per plan. But then that's where your price action trading and a little bit of discretion might come in as to what might be decent places to get in or out. Like I wrote down 130 over under. I don't take the 130 short. I wanted to get long above 130, but then once you see what's happening in and around these 27s, and then what happens in and around with this 25, this rebid right there, definitely that price action playbook comes into play, and you're like, all right, I had already kind of planned trades around this name, and I'm comfortable trading the price action around it, so let's go for that trade as well. But yeah, specificity and quality over quantity definitely, I think, trumps. Again, now I know that there's traders who trade baskets, and that works really well for them. But for me, I find that I guess being kind of focused on one or two things or just a few things, and taking that one good trade is definitely a main focus. And I guess it's helped me with consistency as well, kind of honing into what some of the things I do a little bit better on are. But yeah, people are asking why GME is going down. I have no idea why, but it's definitely selling off. We were talking about the options kind of effect there. Again, Roaring Kitty was talking about this one, and this ticker was definitely the cat's meow for a couple of weeks. As everybody was talking about it, and that 25-24 coming in. So yeah, those options were kind of in play for today. They were expiring today. The same ones. I think he had the 20 calls expiring today, and he already dealt with them. I think last week or the week before. We can see that we can see some of that action kind of off of where he did, and he bought a bunch of shares with some of those profits as well on GME. But yeah, no, it's coming right back in. Some strong selling going into the close. So yeah, no, I have no idea why it might be doing this action, but the fact of the matter is we did break below low a day, and we're coming into some of this multi-day support that we've been having. Look at this quadunk from that 29 all the way to 23 and some change, and the next day we hold that as support. The next day we hold that as support. We kind of open a little bit higher near where this consolidation or the higher consolidation, this resistance might be sitting at, just above and under, just above 25.50, under 26s, and we're kind of coming back into the range there. So a little bit of a multi-day range between these 23 and change and 25 and change happening on GME. So it seems like a little bit more of just price action is just doing. It's just doing what it's been doing over the past few days there. So I can't necessarily answer why, but probably going down because people are selling on the book. I'm
yeah,
sure
that's generally what happens.
Yeah, things go down when people sell.
Yeah, is that what it is? Oh man, I'm in the wrong damn business. I was going the other way here.
Talking about imbalances.
Yeah, that's a pretty hot take right there, Obi. I like that one.
Thank you.
No, yeah, good talk there. And yeah, sometimes we'll drive ourselves mad sitting around here, but that is good talk there about it. And we don't know why, but you just have to look at price action, right? And I think that
price action is king at the end.
That's it. At the end of the day, I mean, that's all that.
Yeah,
it's like I say that the only boss we have is the market. Like,
yes,
it's going to tell us, yep, you are correct. No, you are not, and you should be in this trade. You shouldn't be in this trade. Give us a little slap on the wrist, and sometimes even more than that. But okay,
the market will definitely humble.
Yeah, that is for sure. And by the way, we just entered the Dollar Club with KKR, a stock that has never ever been traded on this show before. KKR, boom, lighting up your life. Here's the thing right here. So here it is right here. KKR being added 100 million shares.
Wow.
Being added on KKR, CrowdStrike, KKR, GoDaddy, a bunch of names on here. Amazon.
Amazon.
Oh
boy.
2 million shares, though, Obi. 2 million shares. Slow down, Obi.
Amazon will eat that for breakfast on the
Ooh, and then what is being decreased, my guys?
Yeah, let's see some of those.
Let's see some of these. Okay, so here we go. We've got Apple. We've got Nvidia, but look at the net shares of trade. 17.1, 17.7. We've got Google. So we've got Meta, we've got JP Morgan, we've got Berkshire. All of these are decreases. Net trading down size. So Google right there, 3 million shares. JP Morgan, 3 and change. WFC, 18 and change. So yeah, some interesting things going to be happening there. And again, this is just information that we have, and we'll show it to you. Those numbers aren't 100% exact. They're people putting them together and having a quick look over there what's expected to change hands. So we went long on KKR based on what we saw with our eyes. It was 21.5 or something. It's starting to pair off more and more right now. Okay, but the thing is, we already have, again, these paired values. I feel like everything's kind of starting to change a little bit here. So let's just wait for a more updated stream of this. We'll get it. It's 245 right now, 350.
Yep.
350 is when the hot number will drop, and then we'll figure it out from there where we're going. Because just because it's one way doesn't mean, like I remember when Tesla was being added, I believe it was a $600 name at that time. It's since split. And at this time, everybody, because it was like a $600 name, we were all trading it. It was fantastic. Was it $600? I feel like it was. This back in December of
as well. This
23.
was the big print that everybody talks about. I've heard the story. Yeah,
yeah.
It had been over $1,000. Was it? I don't know.
I don't know. I think it was 600 and change.
I've heard stories of that trade. Yeah.
Yeah. So, anyways, it was let's say it was 660, okay, and it was about this time, and it started to drip down, and we're just like, it's supposed to be a buy. It's supposed to be a buy, and then it went like 660 to like 650 to 640. And I'm just taking like 20 or 30 shares at a time here or something like that. But I'm out of the money, like, I don't know, $50. No, it wasn't that much, but $30.
Yeah.
So you're looking down, you're like, what? I'm out of the money, like $700 or $800. I didn't even mean to like start this trade yet.
Yeah.
And then when 350 hit, it came that the number was real. It came out that huge buy, and the thing went from like 620, almost straight up on the line to 660 or whatever. It made it all the way back up. There's people on our floor now, I think he's maybe here or not, traders on that time that punched in, that took the risk right away, was able to pay off. And then even after that, the print was even, I think, $12 or $13 or $14 higher than sort of where we closed. And it took a minute to get that print going through. So, yeah. So that's just a little bit of a quick story there as KKR keeps going upside. But the thing is that if Tesla came the other way, then you're absolutely dead in the water, right? So I almost feel like it's better to wait for the number to come out and then make your play as opposed to getting in early. With that being said, I'm in early on Apple. So I thought, I mean, we showed you, man, Apple's supposed to be that share decrease. It's only a couple million shares, so I do not want to get in love with this trade. So if we break above like VWAP here, I mean, we'll give... Apple's by far my number one stock. It's not even close. It's huge. It's great. I love it. We have this short. We have it all day. We have the short all day on Apple. But we're getting a little excited now thinking that we were going to sell off into the close. And my trade for next week is going to be, dip buy longs into Apple. So I do think that the sell should be real here into Apple. We saw it. Wasn't it yesterday's close? I don't want to feel like, so yesterday all afternoon we kind of dripped and then we got a nice little bid. So I guess it was a buy imbalance into the close yesterday. So that's something to be weary of. Yesterday was at the low of the day and then that buy imbalance came up and it went from 209 all the way to 210. So up $1 straight on a buy imbalance. Need to be a little weary here of Apple, I feel like. We're still long Nvidia though.
Yeah, that's... Still a wild trade. Somebody in the chat was at top.
Get out of some here.
Sorry, pro day trader saying that I remember that trade, Sean Katina. That must have been a wild ride there. I definitely.
I think I was doing it live on the show, and I was like, okay.
We got to go back and look that one up.
Okay.
For the archives. Yeah, for sure.
Probably, yeah. So someone remembers it. Was it 660 then, pro day trader? Just let us know.
Yeah, what was it? I'm curious to know what date specifically. That's pretty wild there. Like a 50.
Now Nvidia's just pulling back.
It's like a 10% move on the ticker because it's like $600.
No, it was wild because everybody in their month, like it was Tesla's into the NASDAQ 100, I think it was. And it was like just an absolute monster. And Tesla had a huge run into it. It was like everybody was so juiced up. Like just meaning like they're just ready to go and everyone was, and I was like, oh yeah, here we go. We thought we'd have a huge day. And it turned out to be fantastic, but could have been a lot better. We wound up making money on it, but nowhere near because we had punched out.
Yeah.
Like there was a point where it's like, this is getting uncomfortably low right now. And I think, I mean, Neil, we were all here, so he would, if he was here, he would know too. But yeah, that was quite the wild. You weren't here then? No,
I don't think so. No.
Okay. Anyways, wow. We can go back and look at that. On that note, though, Nvidia is wild right now, dude. I don't know if you're watching it.
I'm watching it. I'm looking for the next trade, and this 126 is holding.
I just got out a sum of Apple here, just a little bit nervous, thinking that I am in a little bit too early. So we'll just get out of what we just got in on here, and just hold just a couple hundred. I mean, whatever, doesn't matter the share size against this print. I just don't want to lose any. So, maybe up here we'll probably get out 210.65 or so, back up to VWAP. Let's just be right with a lot of shares rather than risking and playing in the middle here when we're a little uncertain. But Nvidia is doing volume, boy. 400 million shares?
Yeah. Yesterday did 5.
I remember looking at that yesterday with Neil. It was in the middle of the day, and I was like, is that for real? Like, we're at 500. I mean, we're going to do it today easily.
Good chunk of dollar volume going through the ticker.
Yeah, buy NASDAQ shares.
Yeah, right. Yeah, no, it's interesting. Like, I was like, oh, is this potential capitulation? I'm like, on the daily, it's like a strong volume day. We've had all day worth of selling after a very strong bid. And I'm like, yeah, definitely people are going to be looking for that continuation right off of the open, and we did get some of that. Nice little, almost, if you look at some of the pre-market prices, almost a 4 to 5 point flush off of the open there. But again, we sustained. And that continuation not really happening. We're going about sideways, or as of right now, 130. Again, I was saying that 130 was my over/under. Why, you may ask? 130. Again, we pull up the chart here on Nvidia, and we can kind of talk about why. Just a little bit of, I guess, candlesticks or chart or what say you in and around some of this action here. So yesterday, strong sell-off, right? So this kind of sell-off we haven't really seen since earnings, since one of those prior days that I pointed out. But if you again go back on the daily chart there, it is distinctly different, this candle, right? So we've only had a strong quadrant candle kind of in here, chop sideways, maybe in here as well. But if you look at the magnitude of this candle and like the length of the candle here, some strong selling, a rejection off of all-time highs as well, back through prior days, kind of engulfing as well. We haven't necessarily had too much of that. Sure, this candle kind of engulfs and then continues, but we bid right back up. And we saw more of that today as, again, so you get that strong flush. But take a look at this. Looking left, that 130 has been quite an interesting piece as we've built up towards those all-time highs. So yeah, going back to the 15-minute chart, yesterday with all that sell pressure coming in and that 500 million volume, where does the ticker kind of stop? Right? It flushes down extremely heavily all the way from 140s all the way down to 130, and then manages to find a little bit of a base, a little bit of end-of-day consolidation, maybe a dead cat bounce off of that 130 right there. So I'm like, all right, well, if we reclaim that 130, now we're kind of back in this range, so I definitely want to look at that. That's why I was like, if we get in and around here into that 130 and we get a little weak, I do want to get short, and that's what I did write down. But unfortunately, I did not take that trade. Not the best. I gotta get gooder there, Sean, on executing on planned trades. But that 130 does come in. You can see a little bit of a rejection, support and resistance, right? It's all it is. Kind of yesterday comes in for a little bit of support. We break that support. You come in and you retest that same level, acting as a resistance, and then you can kind of come up with a strategy or some sort of idea to get into a position off of that. And yeah, support turning resistance is definitely a decent idea off of that 130. As again, in retrospect, sure, but it played out quite nicely today. And again, VWAP was interesting off of the open as well. We saw a lot of aggressive VWAP sellers kind of attempting to push it down. A lot of volume being churned. You can see some of these candles here. That's the 25 rebreak. But again, some of the top volume candles being in the morning session, a lot of volume churned at some of these levels like 28, 27s, and then back through that 25 as well, some decent volume. You can see that volume bar on the breakdown as well as the pushback in.
Oh my God, we're in the money
and
now.
then we've kind of faded off of that one. What's going on?
No, we're in the money now on Apple all of a sudden, so that was a good hold, it looks like. I just want to say, like, here's CRH. Here's another name right now that is just like, so let's just keep this in mind. Look, a lot of you will be here with us in September, right? There's going to be another rebalance in September, the quarterly, and then the year end will be in December. So like, let's just like mark down like 215, 220, 2 o'clock, and look for some names. I mean, Hewlett Packard, again, that didn't do much, but even if you took it, you got 20 or 30 cents. I don't expect much of a $20 name, but in some of these other names like KKR, with only done 7 million shares, we've already had interest here. So that started to get bid up as well around 2 o'clock and kept on going there. 41 cent stock, we don't have to worry about that. Kinder Morgan's pretty small, but still trying to drift up higher there. ConocoPhillips, this one's probably, okay. Oh, this is a sell. My bad. So same thing, look at this for a sell. This is actually even better, man. This is 80 cents the other way. with a sell there. Let's check out what WFC's done here into the close with a sell imbalance. Okay, a little bit of a downside move. Ooh, XOM. So XOM might be a different beast altogether because of the oil situation today, but look at XOM as of 2 o'clock, selling off as well. There's 1 o'clock, so XOM all day here with a sell imbalance trying to get going. Yeah, we talked about UiPath and its strength it's had here in the afternoon off of an imbalance as well. So some interesting plays happening right in front of our face. I'll just want to update this KKR. Oh, by the way, I was like, oh my God, Apple came back in. So we took a fill there at $200.05.
That's not 10. A bit of a hold.
On which?
On Apple.
I know, and that's what's making me nervous. So I don't know. We got some out at 20 there. We talked about getting nervous about it because we did see that it was a share decrease, so we do like Apple for that. But Apple's up on the day with a red NASDAQ, so that's making me petite, just a little nervous on that one. I did want to talk about KKR real quick. Again, I don't know how long it's going to go up for. It is pairing off, and what pairing off means is that when this gets less than it has been, so we first looked at it was 21 million, so there's only 16 million left. Like if that 16 million is there and it's 359, then this stock will rip up because it's going to have to find sellers. And who wants to sell 16 million shares? So it's going to have to come out of the float here. So they're going to have to print it higher. That's the trade, right? But so for right now, if we break through VWAP, we're out. 107.50, we're out. 107.40, we're out of KKR. So I just wanted to bring that to everybody's attention. Good little play there. Nvidia is still doing absolutely nothing.
Yeah.
So I know you've already gone over that. And I did dump Palantir on purpose because I just didn't want to bother with it. I know that sounds ridiculous to do that to a stock, but we only had 10% left. And honestly, it's a nice move down. If it gets back down to its very bottom of 23.50, whatever, I took a 70 fill. So obviously we have much bigger fish to fry here with the stock that's actually moving in Nvidia and one that I want to look at in Apple. So we'll continue with that. Google, we showed a small buy, but I have less than 10% of this one left for Google. We just got really excited when it got back into this high of 179.80. So we took a lot of this out for like this 80-cent winner or so. And then we were lucky enough to get about $1.20 there. So we're just holding a small piece for Google and then just looking for new opportunities.
Yeah.
The market still, I know I was going to say maybe the market, but that's pretty sideways. Yeah. I wanted to look at Reddit maybe. Was there anything that's popping up for you?
Yeah, I guess this GameStop with the game drop into this 23.60s. We were talking about this kind of level coming in as a potential support over the past three trading days. Again, this has been a consolidation, so I kind of asked myself this. A lot of time I noticed that consolidations are continuation patterns, and where are we coming from? We're coming all the way from a double top at 80 at the highs of the whole when Roaring Kitty kind of came out with the tweet. People are like, oh, he might have caused the thing. He kind of did the thing. But the thing is, GME was already on radar the week before because of this windup, this little unnatural windup. And I was like, all right, well, this thing could potentially do something. And all of a sudden, Buddy sends out a tweet and lights the fire on this one there. So and then the gauntlet was definitely lit as you can see the volatility in the price action that came in. Double top 80s and in the pre-market is what I mean on a shorter time frame. We have a double test, and it's only been a decent kind of sell-off since then. Sure, we did attempt to re-push 67.50s on that trade there. Again, dropping those earnings as well. And I think this was the day, that Friday, I think he came out and did that stream. Yep. Right? This was the same day in and around it, and everyone was like, oh, so he's still kind of holding position there. A nice little strategic move by GameStop, the company themselves, to kind of raise some funds. And I think what they're sitting on over $4 billion, $5 billion worth of cash in hand. So definitely a lot of nice little chunk of change to maybe flip the script on what they do and how they operate. But definitely coming back into some of these significant levels, as you can see down here. 22.79 is the low. We failed to follow through, bid right back up, and we're coming right back into that potential area there. So again, we're looking at support and resistance, maybe a little bit of support here, but we are on our way down. We did consolidate, and now we're flushing in to some of these lows on a rebalance day going into the same day where Roaring Kitty's options were expiring as well, call options. So maybe some interesting action happening there. But again, breaking the day lows in and around that 2460s. It has been accelerating to the downside with expanding volume. I think that's definitely something to note. Look at that expanding volume back on the 3-minute, looking a little bit more clear for that breakdown and continuation to the downside. So let's see what we do in and around some of these levels here. 2360s I have, and we've kind of bounced off of 2370 as of right now, but the downtrend is very strong. And something again to note, we have been getting some expanding volume going into some of these lows, the consolidation lows nonetheless. So maybe poised for a breakdown. I have no idea. Got to watch the stock there for that. But I'm kind of being patient and waiting. It is power hour now. It's 3:01. So this tight consolidation on Nvidia definitely has my interest there, and this 210 hold on Apple as well. Some of the bigger names on the rebalance there in terms of NQ names happening there, as Sean just pointed out on the balance sheet there. Yeah, KKR, people talking about KKR. Something else that caught a bid that was also on that list is CrowdStrike. You can see that there. So we were talking about CrowdStrike, and right there, look at that, around 2 o'clock, 2:30, it kind of catches a bid and pops right back into the upper end of that consolidation that we've been having off of the quadunk that we had, continuation off of the open there of yesterday's price action on CrowdStrike. So a little interesting price action there. I guess if you had the idea for the long going into power hour, I guess that worked out well. If you had the idea for playing the range as well, it's been pretty nice. What's going on?
Well, Apple's on the move to the upside right now, so we are almost stopped out. We're going to use 210.60 as the spot, which is fine. We'll give back some. You know, we thought we'd want to hold this into the close to see if that rebalance is real, but it's starting to go up for no reason right now. So maybe it's going to be a buy imbalance. So, which is fine. There it goes. There, we're out. Okay. So whatever. We will have to slap a fail on it and flush ourselves down the toilet because we talked about going short, man. We are lucky enough to get something out there, but we averaged it back into the 200. I'm not even there we go. Not even holding this to VWAP. I did get out of some more Nvidia here at the top. So, yeah, we gave a little bit back there on Apple, but actually pretty okay to do that. I'm not okay, but, you know, we're still fine. Sucks to put on a trade to lose there, but we were short there at 30s or whatever it was, 28s, out at 62s. We had the break at 60, so what did we get? We got 61, so good out there on the push. And look what's happening. Remember I was like, Nvidia should go down, Apple should go down, Nvidia should go up. The other stuff's happening right now. Nvidia is not even moving, and Apple is starting to get excited back up to the upside. So if you guys have any other like opportunities to see NASDAQ imbalances, like that'd be great. We can't. All that we have here at Real Trading, we're pretty fortunate to have it, is this data right here. So we only have NYSE data. So, and that's until 350, then it will populate NASDAQ. So when that does populate, we'll have it. But like a big buy could have just came in for Apple and we don't see it, you know? A big buy could come in for any of these names, or it's just moving around because it wants to move around. I mean, Google also starting to go back up to the upside right now as well against the NASDAQ that just moved 10 handles. Doesn't make any sense that Apple is having like one of the bigger moves here, or is having the biggest move of the afternoon. Look at this, right back to 211. Maybe this is where we just say, okay, maybe the buyer gets exhausted. Is it worth it, Obi? Or are you doing anything until the close? Or maybe the best thing to do here is sort of sit on our hands.
Like I'm watching this price action, right?
Right.
Like, is it? I don't
Apple's
know.
so strong
there's
here.
definitely a buyer on. There's definitely bidding on Apple happening.
But nothing on
Nvidia. I'm curious to know who has that NASDAQ data. Send over some of that edge there as that 210 hold, and then an unnatural relative to the price action we've been having going into this bid back up towards some of these highs. Again, if this kind of continues, you can start to bring in some more buying pressure from some of these highs that shorts might be risking off of there into that 211s. So yeah, it's definitely something to watch out for. But yeah, that 210 hold there, Sean, that was very, very solid. And again, you can see a similar kind of hold happening here on Nvidia, but not really the same magnitude of price action.
Oh no.
It's only kind of the consolidation here on Nvidia started, I guess, in and around this 130 mark. This is a 3-minute chart, so in and around this 130 mark, and we've just been chopping around 127 to 126. And sure, ES and NQ have been pretty much sideways. We try to break the lows, it rebids back into the range. We try to break the highs, it kind of sells back off into the range. And Apple is kind of very reflective of that, just chopping and churning with a core in and around what is VWAP there. So most of the, I guess, players kind of sitting in and around this 110.80 mark here, just underneath that 211. But yeah, that aggressive bid was interesting nonetheless. I want to see if there was some decent volume coming into those candles there. I just want to go into the 1 minute. So yeah, a little bit of expanding volume pushing into that, and again a little bit of resistance. Again, so reference price of the okay, that's interesting. Some I guess an anchored from some time before. But again, it's on a 1 minute, so I don't think that's really accurate as of right now. But you can see that event reference price where we got that news of what's it, something about AI in the EU or something. So that level has held as a bit of an area where sellers kind of come in to that level. What's up, Adara?
Keep an eye on Boeing here. BA, this came out a couple minutes ago here. Reuters reporting, according to an email, that they viewed the U.S. Justice Department officials saying there's no decision yet on whether or not to prosecute Boeing. Boeing pretty range bound here, but just be aware that this coming out here from Reuters, guys.
Okay, yeah, it's very range bound there on Boeing. I did pull it up because I was like, oh, is there another report of some fake titanium or some fuselages flying? But no, it seems pretty stable here on Boeing, kind of chopping sideways.
That's the best.
Yeah, 76 halves as of right now. Yeah, some interesting action nonetheless. Nothing really too crazy there. I see that you got into that.
KKR.
Did you get back into that short? Nice, beautiful. So it is coming right back down 110 halves on Apple. Yeah. So where sellers were there before, strong selling off of that event, and then they showed up once again with the confluence of VWAP. They show up once again right underneath that 212. So a little bit, again, more range-bound action there happening. As again, the NQ, we keep talking about this 20,000 seems like it's interesting. We got a hint that it might be interesting off of this pre-market action coming off the open. We try to break below, we try to break above. We keep on magneting in and around, and that definitely has a lot of tickers in a range-bound type of action there, except for Google. Amazon still kind of swinging sideways here, and Alphabet's the only one that's had a strong bid on the day there. So it is breaking back towards that 180 and holding some of those highs as well. So interesting nonetheless. Yeah, some interesting action yesterday as well. Strong bid right off the open, wipes it all back, consolidates sideways. And today, right off of the open, we break that prior day high and do nothing but continue to the upside while the market chops sideways. So Google is pretty much the only one that's, in my opinion, has had some outlier kind of interesting action in the Mag 7 there. What is, I guess I want to ask what Tesla is up to. Tesla and Meta kind of up there as well in terms of the constituents. Let's kind of pull this a little wider. And I don't want to do that. Let's go to the 15-minute right there. So yeah, a little bit sideways action there. Hasn't really gone to where on Tesla and on Meta as well. Let that load. Okay, so Meta to the downside, I guess. We kind of experienced some strong selling over the past few days there. Again, Tuesday, not really as much in line with the rest of the market selling off there, as it kind of just covers prior day's range well within. So this was an inside day relative to some of the days before on Meta, and today is the day that it kind of fell through and broke, holding that 495 as a bit of resistance as of right now with this lower high here on Meta platform. So let us know what you guys are trading. I don't have too many ideas on the board. Kind of just watching the price action, nothing too crazy. I think some of the bigger opportunities were in the morning session and even the midday session right there on Nvidia. But again, if you're playing the range on a few of these things, the opportunities have been galore all day long. And that's something I definitely have to get a little better at trading, are the range trades and kind of recognizing that they're there and then participating. And again, Sean, great trade on that, as you're almost a point in the money there. If we break back through that 210.
Yeah. Problem is I'm at a half, but we're gonna try to hold it now. So yeah, man, we just got back into it. We talked about where we don't want to we still want to make sure we have some kind of dinner. We just don't want to throw it all away. And then, so, okay, let's go Apple. There it is. Yeah, nice push back in. So we'll take a fill there. And Nvidia's starting to rip high side right now as well. So yeah, man, here we go. Let's go. Maybe we're starting to go finally here. Apple downside, Nvidia upside. This was kind of part of the plan. Let me punch out of a little bit more Apple now. So remember when we got out right there? So we got out at 60, allowed it to go to 211, and then shorted the you-know-what out of it all the way back in again. So far, so good there. Let's hold to see if that rhetoric is right into the close. We did give some back, right? But we may get back anyways. So good trade there. KKR now at the highs. Let's go. We'll drop down some more on that one. KKR now $1.70 in the money on that as it's going. And here comes Nvidia. Are we punching longer in Nvidia here? Because it is starting to break here. And I don't...
Reserving on 127.
Yeah, I don't have enough in this. We're $1 in the money Google. I mean, look what we have now. We're $1 in the money Nvidia. We're $1.60 in the money KKR. We're 98 cents in the money Google. We're 70 cents in the money Apple. So far, so good there. Nvidia's doing a lot of volume, man. Now it's 385 million shares.
Yeah,
I'm getting excited. Am I sitting on my headphones? No, I'm not. Okay. Long Nvidia, Tesla. Oh, man, how low did GameStop get? Did it get to 2350 there? Because...
Yeah, I saw the comment. I was like,
oh, 2370, no!
Same sentence.
All right. Wow, this KKR, man, is starting to go as well. All right, Nvidia, maybe a fade off that. The whole idea that we're trying to get at here is this. This imbalance, okay, by the way, KKR is gone now. It's only 6 million shares, so watch out for that one. Still a nice upside move on KKR. We're still in it, but it is getting less and less. So I might put the stop just at 108. Let's just do that. I mean, if it comes back in, we don't have so many shares left on this, but again, it's a good stock for us. We are very proud to have taken that just in front of everybody because honestly, it's just trying to show you that some of the tools that are available here at Real Trading can be used for these kind of trades as well. And then it's all about preparation. You and I mean, you're probably the best example for this. Coming in and you already showed your notebook and we knew it. Every single person on the floor knows it. And again, sort of kudos to the guys running the place, Brankles and Wayne, right? Because like, they got everybody ready to go, and it's everybody's looking at this kind of stuff. It's going to be a big volume day, and if you don't know,
now you know.
Now you know, and I mean that's why we're all listening here. Hopefully, to there it is. There's Sharif. Yeah, what's going on, Sharif? But the floor is pretty empty right now. I saw the guys throwing some footballs back there as they get prepared and ready to go for that. I remember that when I was a little wee one, and trading these imbalances as well. I used to always have to like run to the washroom just in the last, like with 5 minutes to go, just because you have that nervous feeling and it's like you're just sitting there like you're watching the charts like, oh, I better get up and go because, you know, I don't want to miss something crazy to happen. And then of course, sometimes it's like absolutely nothing happens. Or, you know, Neil and I will talk about it and you're probably doing this too. When IPOs hit.
Yeah.
It's like, I remember when Coinbase, we're all like, all right, crypto's at highs. Like, here comes Coinbase. Everyone's all geared up for it. They're talking about it on some other channel. I can't remember the name. They're talking about it forever and ever and ever. And it was like 12 o'clock, 12:30, 1 o'clock. And we're just like, you know, and it's coming out at like $150, $300. It just kept on getting bid higher and higher. And we're just sitting there and I'm like, okay, Neil. He's like, all right. I'll go run to the bathroom. He's like, if it comes in, just push enter and I'll, you know, and then all that kind of, maybe we shouldn't say that. No, we weren't doing that. I was not trading his account.
Press enter for me, bro.
Yeah. That never happened. You have to trade your own account, of course, Obi. I would never do that. But anyways, so we were all getting all geared up for it. Then all of a sudden it's like, boom, there's the IPO. And then you wait for it, and but IPOs are great. IPOs are instant trades. That's the difference. Yeah. The minute you get the fill off the open, you got to trade out of it. These imbalances, although will be very spicy, probably too spicy. I know Adara, the jerk chicken's a little spicy for her. Like the jerk chicken is like a 3. Yeah. No, not even. It's like a 1.5.
These are like habanero spice.
This is like if the
ghost pepper spice.
Yeah, if the jerk chicken is a 1.5 spice. Today you're looking at like an unbelievable amount of Scovilles, if that's what's happening right now for the close. So as you can see, we're getting really excited now for this, and it should be a good event. So we'll have it live for you guys in about 40 minutes or about 35 minutes. when 350 hits. And then you're going to see all of this, man. You're going to see the NASDAQ going insane, and we should be able to have some good winners for you. Or not winners anyways, but at least showing you what's happening as we're expecting a couple different rebalances in front of us. So, yeah, so far so good. Apple reloaded short here at 211. Google still $1. Waiting for something to happen on Google. Whether or not it does, we're going to be here for it. We have a big winner right here on KKR. KKR continues to be that one. You are him, KKR. And then Nvidia as well, man. Holding 127 now.
Like, I'm watching this level. We saw how much volume was churning in and around that 127 earlier. No worries. That 127 was churning a lot of volume this morning, and yeah, it's kind of high of the range as of right now. You can see some strong selling below VWAP as well. VWAP's right there. So what do I have on VWAP? 127.25. So we're just underneath VWAP, and we're churning a lot of volume here. And again, this consolidation has been happening since about 130. So I'm definitely watching it. Don't necessarily want to punch right away into the break of the range there, as again, it's like it was reserving on the ask there at 127s. There's a little bit of size that showed itself, and I was like, all right, well, that's interesting. But then it kind of just shows like a couple lots there, but it starts churning a bunch of volume in and around that 127. So definitely interesting price action. You can see that that 127 has acted both as resistance, as support off the open, as a resistance off VWAP here, and then as I guess some more support, some more resistance here in this consolidation, and then acting kind of similar here as it's churning a lot of volume and not really getting through, as maybe this is more confluence here with that VWAP in and around that 127. But again, with only about I guess 43 minutes left until the close, and even less until those imbalances come out there, yeah, I'm gonna stay a little bit more patient here. Again, if anything outlier shows up, I definitely want to be involved in that. But I think the most outlier stuff, the most opportunities will be kind of going closer into the close with any sort of volatility, even if it's momentum, even if it's based off of the imbalances. What say you might be a better opportunity to wait for and be patient for. Bonksilla saying somebody spiked the punch. Yeah, I don't know about that. What else are you guys saying here? Where did, okay. Anyways, that 127 holding as of right now is what I'm saying. Again, something more to confluence that with is this level at 20,000, right? We kind of pop above, pop back below, kind of magneting this 20,000, acting as a little bit of a level of orbit all day, and we're just doing more of the same, right? So nothing too crazy. Joe V saying red to green on DJT. I will check that out, but before that, we're going to pass it over to Dara.
Just be aware here of Mattel. This one actually at new highs of days and increasing in volume as we get near the close. Not seeing any news on MAT. A little bit of social media attention and a short float of 4.4% market cap, just under $6 billion. Be aware though, Mattel on the move. Nice volume here, guys.
Huh. That's, you see this chart?
No.
What's this? Something's going on here. Like, this is a beautiful chart. Mattel, MAT. Look at this expanding volume going into the close. I guess the volume comes in around, what, 9? Yeah, so right off the open. And this thing has only been trending up with expanding volume going into the close. That's definitely distinct price action there. Let's look left a little bit here on Mattel to see what's going on. I think Adira said there's some social media action going on, so definitely some volume coming in. And again, the expanding volume is what makes it even more significant. And it happens to, I guess, the lows happen to confluence. This is a daily chart with a bit of support that's been happening over time there. Earnings reaction push as well. And then I guess this little dip in at the beginning of the year. So yearly lows holding for the past few days there and breaking this trend as well. So yeah, some interesting price action. Let's go back to Dara.
Another name making some nice moves here with volume into the close, DJT. Trump Media and Technology Group here trying to recover from a little bit of weakness. Nice look here on the daily chart and currently pushing higher up about 1% with a bit of volume here into the close for DJT, guys.
Okay, yeah, DJT back to the upside as well.
Look at XOM continuing to sell off too on that imbalance. So here's XOM, the fourth biggest one right now, continuously selling off here into the close. So XOM, big sell imbalance starting to go. We left BlackBerry alone. It's a sell as well. Let's see if there's anything. Yep. What? That's great, man. 7 cents on $2.
Okay,
We'll take that for sure.
Okay, yeah, no.
Good one there. KKR is falling out a little bit, but still going higher. I'm going to switch. Oh, we're already at 108, aren't we? Yeah, we're already at 108. I was going to say, let's follow the 50-period moving average. That stock is, I mean, again, holding volume, just upside there on a rebalance buy. Okay, the other one that was going, I mean, I don't even know what CRH is. This one continues to go higher as well. Gold, we talked about Barrick Gold with a 5 million share buy imbalance. Doesn't seem to be very big right now. Archer Daniel Midland sort of slowed down there, had its go and then came back in. UiPath started, seemed like it wanted to go as well, starting to get upside there. Look, Nvidia just fell back in, right? So yeah, I'll keep this up. We had already noted that Nvidia should be a share decrease. I mean, we had it right here. This is just the S&P 500, 500, 400, 600 quarterly review right there. There's Google, minus 7 million on Google, minus 17 on Nvidia, minus 17 on Apple. XOM was here too, by the way, is where I saw XOM right here, minus 4 million for XOM, in the energy space, minus 3 million for Chevron. So let's wait to see. I mean, again, Apple's a sell, and it doesn't look like it, right? So we'll take advantage of that and hold on and see if we do come back up to break 211. I still think it's worth trying to get a little bit more in here if it does come through, but we'll wait to see what happens. Is GameStop buying Mattel? Yeah, that's what's happening for sure.
Someone's buying Mattel.
Yeah, I don't know. It is funny. You got really excited about that chart. That was a nice one.
Like, that chart is like very, very, very distinct. I get excited about charts every now and then. Most days, I guess. If I see beautiful price action, I'm going to acknowledge that. And definitely this is some action indeed. It's funny that it comes off of these multi-time frame, multi-month, maybe multi-year lows as well, in around the 17, and then this expanding volume. And again, I don't think we could find any sort of recent stories on it, other than that Adara mentioned that it might be having some hype on social media there. And but yeah, no, somebody's definitely buying. Seems like I don't know whether it's. You know what's interesting to me? That it kind of catches this bid after a multi-month sell-off there. So maybe it could be, my mind automatically goes is like, who is this whale that's covering his short position on Mattel with this expanding volume going into a rebalancing day?
I mean, unless it's supposed to be rebalanced.
Yeah, unless it shows up.
I looked, it wasn't on the list, but I mean, that could be the case.
You know what? I think I might even add it to my
yeah, something to look at there for sure.
Something to look at, so that because that action is definitely distinctly different there on Mattel. To the upside, but yeah, I don't really have too much on watch. People saying Nvidia, GME, but no, Nvidia kind of just chopping around in this range. We talk about that 127 being interesting, and then kind of quadrupling back down to about halfway through the range there. 26 halves holding as of right now, 26 and some change being the low of the range there. So yeah, if you're playing the range there, getting long on top of 26 and then kind of piecing off in and around that 27 has been working since about 130-ish on this ticker here, as it's been in a very tight range through a decent chunk of the day. But again, that volatility and that momentum definitely coming in the first half of the day there, maybe first two-thirds of the day. And we've just been shopping in the past couple of hours there. Now with only about, I guess, 35 minutes left there, Sean. So it's
the whole day, yeah. And we'll get that 20 minutes or so until 25 until the imbalance, and then we'll see it. I mean, I'm pretty excited about it. There is a story here for Tesla. Tesla's downsized at least 14% this year, as Elon Musk says it will exceed more than 10. So apparently with all the math someone's put together, and there's just a report hitting now, Elon's number was 10 or roughly 10. Apparently it's 14 so far. So Tesla quiet on that front, but you know, could be again. I'm still pretty bullish. We talked about Tesla. I mean, I still like the name. I still like it above 175 here. So if it holds it, we'll continue to work at that level. So happy with Tesla, but not doing much on that report. Just wanted to go over to it in case there was some talk. We looked at DraftKings earlier and it was $43.
Okay.
It's DraftKings is definitely coming to the downside. We looked at 43. We were short. Remember, we were short yesterday, and then this happened. So we were short 43 yesterday, and then this happened when Penn apparently was approached. I don't even know the story, so I better not talk too much about it because people get mad. But Then, of course, it fell right back in. And then at the close, I was like, oh, yeah, of course, just right back to where we were short. And then today, if I still like the story, we could have shorted it again. And I went back to it, but we were too late. We looked at it, I think, must have been around 10:30. And I said, okay, if it gets back to 43 where the 200 period is, we like that. But a downsized move there for DraftKings. I still really like the space. Really, really like the gambling space. Again, first mover advantage, DraftKings, FanDuel. I don't know what else is popular, but in Canada, it seems like it's just those two. There's also Bet365, a couple different apps that you can throw down. But I feel like in the United States, DraftKings, I don't know, man. Every event I watch seems to have DraftKings all over it. So that would be one little tell there for me. We did cover a little bit of Apple. I don't know, man. We're short here. It tried to take VWAP. It didn't. Came back. I took a bid. I'm now, okay, here it comes. I'm now bidding 30s, although now that I see this, it could be 40s. Let's see if it drips down. Let's just try to be right. Like, that's all, right? Like, if Apple's going to be a decrease, we already know the levels. I'm not sure it's going to be a decrease. If it does come in, I'm going to punch immediately short and see if we can get a big winner on that one. KKR, I think, has lost its steam a little bit here. Its 50 period is still there. Remember, we were looking at it, it was 21 million. Now it's 5 million, so it's definitely been paired off a lot. So 43 million or so, 44 million. Being done there on KKR. You'll see. So that means that at the end of the day, if nothing else is added to this, it's at least a 45 million print, share print. It's only done 9 million shares today.
Wow.
So
like
when people...
almost 4 times.
Yeah, it's like when people are... And this is the thing about when you're looking at VWAP and things like that, that's going to definitely influence that kind of stuff. So if you are doing your charting over the weekend or something like that and you use that, make sure you take in consideration some of the huge volume prints that went off. And that's actually true of the morning as well, right? When you start your VWAP at 9:30, then unfortunately you're taking in all of that information. So we could have been off when you're using that this morning, right? So we actually didn't talk about that, and we possibly should have. So we'll just wait again. Sharif and the crew, it was on our watch list earlier on in the week that XLK was upsizing Nvidia into their ETF. And again, XLK is going to have Nvidia now as the #1 name in that spot. And again, it has to do, I think, with the market cap, and that the highest market cap has to have the highest weighting. There's just constitution rules and all that when they make these ETFs, so rules for them to follow. And that's what's happening. So that's where we get that sort of decrease in Apple from and an increase possibly in Nvidia. But right now, Nvidia's having a hard time even moving, Obi. 127, I mean, look how flat this is for the whole afternoon. I mean, we've done well on Nvidia trying to pick these bottoms, and we did right there at 126.
Yeah, you've been playing the range, yeah.
We've been playing the range pretty well, except for when it dropped out on us. So we're happy with Nvidia today, but expected a little bit more of a move here into the close. So now it's only 20 minutes until the imbalances, and I mean, we're getting ready to go. Like I said, back in the day, I was like, really excited about these, and I still am. But there's going to be big trades to be had, hopefully, and hopefully we'll find them. And if Obi or I need a minute at the end of the day, we'll be looking at a bunch of different things. So just stay tuned, and we'll sort of guide you in, hopefully, into that close and be able to show you as much as we possibly can. I mean,
for sure.
Because the names are going to be flying around, and that imbalance board is going to be like flipping around. So that'll be very, very important to do. The other thing is, too, you could also, with being at Real Trading, you can build on the API. So, there's some traders there that with this imbalance locator, maybe it doesn't look clean enough or something like that. You can actually draw this data and build your own. So there's also those opportunities. And then even this, just to be able to customize it, you can customize it by, I already have it. See, look, NASDAQ in New York. You can customize it by any of the exchanges that we have, including everyone's favorite exchange. And I know it's Mark's favorite exchange over there, the Helsinki exchange, right there. So a lot of big names traded over there. You can also have Copenhagen, so on and so forth. And then not only that, something also big, you can put in symbol lists and all that kind of stuff to filter out. So lots of opportunities there with Real Trading to be able to customize your trading platform. So I think that's, again, another big benefit of us being able to sit here, understand the platform, and be able to trade as we see fit. Obi.
What's going on?
Apple, we coming back in a little bit. So right now we're short at 211. Apple back into 210.30s. Yeah, go ahead and let's see what winds up happening now on Apple. So Okay, any questions? Thank you so much for Badsha there. We are awesome. I really appreciate that. Nailed Nvidia and GME. What's next? Yeah, we can check a quick look on GME. So GME coming into 24 and change. So, I mean, this could be a huge options name, right? I still remember when Roaring Kitty went on, man. That guy's such a legend. Like, he sat there, like, acting as if he was dead and all that stuff. He cost me like $1,000 probably that day, but honestly, just that whole thing, I can laugh at it now. I don't think I was that happy then, but it was like, oh, I'm gonna get out. No, I'm not. I'm gonna cut the stream. No, I'm not. It's like, come on. And then all of a sudden, like, nearly nothing happened, and it was all halted about 10 times. He waited a half hour before coming back on. It was like just real classic stuff there, man. And honestly, there's little things that you can always look back at financial decisions that you make, but it's like just the little memories, right? It's like that story I was telling you about Tesla. I don't remember how much I made on the end of that or how much I lost, but I remember panicking and that it was like just an exciting time to trade and something that I'm not going to soon forget, right? So there are little things like that I think all of us need to continuously remember and try to store up here, because those of you that have kids know time flies, man. And it's like, even sitting here trading, I was talking with Sharif before, and he's just like, man, like, time at this job flies, because every single day you're looking at something else. You're saying, okay, today's KKR. Like, what KKR? You know, and it's just all these different things every day. It's not the same thing. And I think that you have to stay tuned to the Freedom and Wealth podcast. If you want to hear things like this, you know, talk like this, just candid stuff, right? Brendan and I, join us tomorrow with the Freedom and Wealth podcast, and I hope you'll enjoy that for sure. So there's KKR. We will wrap that up, put a nice little bow on it. That's a big trade for your boy there. We'll take KKR all the way up. We didn't get the best price, of course, because 108.50 or so was the best price, but we were letting that go. Just wanted to show you, you can make decisions and definitely capture that profit. Good trade there on KKR. Apple falling back to 332 now. So, or sorry, the time is 332. Apple falling back into 210. So we will take a piece out now and wait to see what's happening. So, all right, Obi. Thank you so much, Alex, Diaz. A lot of people like that kind of talk. So I appreciate that.
Yeah, no, kind of just waiting around. I think somebody in the chat, Rivian Millionaire, was asking, okay, so what does that mean for the close? And yeah, Sean's definitely right. Stick around and you'll see what some of those imbalances again on the NQ and the NY may or may not be. We're watching that KKR, we're watching that CrowdStrike, watching some other names as well to see if they show up. Let's see what actually shows up. Sometimes a name will be not even on the list, and then it shows up as something big, and it could turn into a trade as well. So you do have to kind of stay on your feet and be a little prepared to get yourself a little lucky there on the imbalance trades. But yeah, everything kind of ranging. And again, that 20,000 still holding as of right now. I got eyes on Mattel, eyes on KKR as well. So yeah, that KKR kind of coming right back in a little bit there. Still holding above VWAP for now. But again, some of that selling comes in at the same place it came in twice before, and maybe off of the open as well, just underneath this 109, 108.50s. It would seem is a bit of an area where you might have some strong selling as it kind of continues to sell off of this as of right now. But yeah, going into the close, anything can happen. It is going to be, it's an S&P add, right? So add into the S&P 500. So we're looking for it to come out of buy imbalance, right?
Which stock was that?
KKR.
Yep.
So we'll be looking for it to come out a buy imbalance. Now I know Sean has been showing you guys the early look on the imbalance locators, imbalance locator for the NYSE, and it's already been a little bit of a buy. So a lot of that buying may have already kind of happened. Maybe people front running into it, but you can see the volume and the price action definitely confirms a little bit of that buying, whether or not that buying has been fully paired or not. We have yet to find out on the day. Rivian Millionaire saying Affirm is tasty. Let's take a quick look at Affirm as well. Interesting. Nothing too crazy, but getting a little bit of a curl off of prior day's low in and around some of that level. So 29.36 was yesterday's low. Today's low is 29.44, and we are curling with some increasing volume back up, kind of wiping back some of those some of the day's fade going into the close again, with only about 25 minutes left until the bell, and only about 15 left until those imbalances start to come out, and maybe we get a little bit of a shake and bake, or not. Who knows? There could be nothing. There could be something, but we have to stay prepared and stay vigilant for the next trade, and that's what I'm kind of doing here. The tickers that I was watching, not really doing too much. Again, I don't really want to get involved in the range here on Nvidia because it might be something on the close. I want to stay a little unbiased going into the close, especially on Nvidia and Apple. So I haven't really taken too many trades in the evening session, or in the afternoon session there. Yeah, no, just looking at price action, watching price action, that's part of trading, right? You don't have to always take a trade if you don't.
No, wait for something to happen. I want to address Baron here in the chat. He says, if you are only trading equities and not options, I do not understand how you are short, or what do you mean by that? So good question. So shorting, I mean, it's kind of an easier question to answer. It just means I'm short right here, Apple. So I borrowed stock, sold it to somebody up here at 211, and now I'm buying it back. So I'm short hoping that the stock falls. So you have to have borrows. We're on a prop floor right now, so we can pretty much borrow any name. Some names will have to pay for the right to borrow it. It's a couple cents per stock, generally speaking, or less than that. But for Apple, borrows are free for pretty much all S&P 500 names, all NASDAQ 100 names, most of the TSX 60, and pretty much like even all the Russell names, like most of the names are borrowable, right? To short a GameStop or something that has a higher short float where there's already a lot of shares out there, that could be harder to borrow because our broker, who's a tier 1 broker, will maybe potentially not have shares available to short. That is a very, very rare occurrence here at Real Trading. Oh no, you're gonna get in trouble for that, boy. All right, so right there. You can do it more though if you want. Right there, 210.40. So anyways,
my good side.
We had borrowed, yeah, what was her?
What's that?
They got her on.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay,
Oh, she knew it was happening. I see what she's doing. She's all undercover, like, yeah, I'm sure you're like, Fabian, make sure to get me on. I see what's happening. And it's fine. It's completely fine. I want to have Ramin on. Yeah, that's what I was saying. I want to get Ramin on maybe one day, Obi, maybe one day next week if she wants to, or whenever. Maybe Neil's here or whatever. We'll get Ramin on for 20 minutes and she can talk to everybody live on the air if she wants to.
Yeah.
Okay, so just real quickly here, I just want to discuss Apple because that's what shorting means, borrowing the stock and buying it back. So now I have the responsibility to cover this position before the end of the day. That's what we have to do here at Real Trading. So we will not hold anything into the closing imbalances, but if you do that, that's okay on a day like today because we have a pending order that will go out and you'll get filled on that last closing print. So that's something that a lot of traders will look at. So that's a strategy that you could do into the close for Apple. And right now, wow, the market is starting to go back up to the upside. So is AAPL. And remember, we were thinking about Apple possibly being a short. As the S&P 500 information that we got is showing a downside push for Apple. But I don't know. We're going to get out if it breaks 211 and then just wait for it. Possibly KKR coming as a big bid. We talked about that. CrowdStrike and not Palantir. It was supposed to be the Palantir day.
Yeah.
But Palantir will be, I'm assuming, added in September.
Yeah.
So we'll wait for PLTR.
We shall wait for that one.
People saying, ouch, GME.
Yeah, GME kind of coming.
I'm not going to take this trade.
Well. Yeah, again, I'm watching this ticker here. It's looking like it's been on a bit of a run here off of this consolidation. 2550s, 2560s, a bit of a consolidation high there on DJT. And yeah, look at that acceleration, that running up back to the upside through that opening print as well. I guess it opened around that 2730.
Yeah, it's working now,
flips
bro.
it by a point, comes right back in. 27s trading as of right now on DJT. So yeah, I guess there has been some volatility just in places we're not really looking at. But again, shout out to you guys on the chat. You guys definitely kind of pointed out that DJT a little early on at the beginning of the show there. So I do have it on my on my watch here on the side, but again, didn't necessarily have that window open, but it is getting a very strong push, or it was getting. Now we're kind of pulling back.
I mean, I'm starting to get those jitters.
27. What's going on? What jitters?
What jitters?
What jitters?
Oh, we already talked about this, my guy. We have a very, very big event happening in just a matter of time.
Right.
You think how am I going to handle like my kids' weddings and all this shit? I mean, all this stuff. Okay. All right.
Look at that range on Apple.
Yeah, you know what we just did? You know what we just did?
Boom.
We put some more on its name right there. Put some more shorts on Apple's head right now and drop it down. We just faded it again, 70s, 60s, 50s. Let's go into the downside here for Apple and see if we can finally be right about a hopefully bigger move down. We'll cover some at 25. Here it comes back in for Apple. We have 8 minutes and change until the imbalances. It's always good when this is called planting purple flowers. You know, you got the purple there, you got the green below. As long as we continue to plant and get bigger roots, then that's what we're looking for. We're looking for roots for days, man, all the way back in. Break this bottom and show yourself. And there's another fill down there. Oh, yeah. We're doing it right now for you guys live here on the show. There's Apple. We've just been shorting it. Thank you for asking me about what shorting was there, Baron, in the chat, because it was giving me a chance to explain it. And now when we have it, we can show everybody what's good. All right, I'm going to get out of Google now because you know why? Because it don't matter about this trade right now. We'll get out of Google. Look at Google doing nothing. Hey, it's $1.10. So let's go into the club right now before, we're too late. All right, we'll get out of Google right here. Okay, OB, this is a big trade for us. We are now at our highest spot we've been at all day. It's not even close. Apple with the move down. We just believed in it. We believed in Apple, and there it is. It's a downside push there for AAPL into the close, into the imbalances again. So I'm ready to go, man. I've upped the share sizes here. Let's see what winds up happening. Nvidia's having itself a little bit of a move back in right now. So
that 126.
I'm already getting out of Nvidia if it breaks 126. But right now it's Apple that's spinning for me right here. Breaking now 210.
Yeah, 210, a little bit of a break on that.
Yes, sir. There's 210,
bids right back up instantly there on Apple.
Look at those flowers being built.
There's a strong little quadrunk there. Again, look at these candles. Definitely different. Again, we talk about we were like, okay, yeah, this is a little different. That's a little different, but now it's done that so many times. It's pretty much the same as the volatility in this range has been quite aggressive going both ways. So a little bit of a chop and churn of about a 1 point range here on Apple, which is pretty significant. 211s to 210s happening as of right now. Back into the low of the range there, getting bid right back up. Here's the quarter. Can we get the half? There's 30s, there's 40s, and we gotta come back down there.
You talking about Apple?
Yeah, Apple right there. So it did bounce off of that 210 quite aggressively as of right now, coming right back into the middle of the range there. But yeah, you can see how strong the volatility in some of these bars have been when they visit the edges of some of these ranges. But yeah, Nvidia not really looking the same there. It did sell off a little bit. That 126 still holding as of right now with only about 7 minutes left to go for these imbalances to come out. I'm going to be just patient. I'm going to stay cool and kind of just wait for the trade. If the trade shows up, we take the trade, and then what's the next trade, right? It's nothing too crazy. It's just another trade. I do have some tickers on watch. Paul asking about Tesla. So yeah, let's take a quick look at Tesla as well. I know this ticker we haven't really covered too much on the day, but yeah, sideways little chop. Seems like there's been some support on top of that 181 and some resistance at that 184, making lower highs nonetheless on Tesla. But if you take a further look left here and go up a time frame, we've kind of been in a sideways action since this strong R-vol day. I think this was the day right here where it was like, okay, well, I think Elon came out, he talked about that positive leaning results for what he wanted on both, I guess, the moving to Texas and also his $56 billion payback, and he definitely got paid on that there. And we've been kind of chopping sideways since some of that action happening on
Ram.
So interesting stuff nonetheless, but I don't necessarily see anything for me on it right now. Again, only about 6 minutes there, Sean. Oh, what? There.
Yeah.
There she is. Yeah, someone in the chat was saying Ram with the cam. That was a good one. Ram.
Trying to duck, but didn't realize she was on the whole time. Okay, so there it is, man. We just got some out at 210 there at the bottom. So I'm not going to celebrate anything. I mean, it's doing what we thought it would do. I actually thought it would stay down a little bit longer than this. So the bounce back up. We'll take a little bit more short here and see if it works out. We'll take some 449s, 50s. We are waiting for those imbalances to pop through. I am getting that nervous energy again here about it. I you know, care a lot about, you know, trying to show you guys and trying to, you know, make good trades, not just for myself, but, you know, obviously, well, yeah, for myself, but also this is an event, right? You don't get too many market events like this. And actually you do get it. You get it 4 times a year. Yeah. So it is worth looking at again. And, you know, we've seen a lot of money. I've had back in the day, some big days doing stuff like this, right? So we'll just wait to see what winds up happening here for Apple. And we're going to see what kind of names show up right now. We did get spooked by KKR, and it's not spooked. We got stopped out at the 50 period. Okay. So we held this all the way back up. We knew this was going to be a buy imbalance, and that's exactly what it was. And you can see what's been happening now. Nice upside move for KKR. XOM was a sell move. Look at this move. Was a sell imbalance, right? That's what the S is right there. Look at that. You know, forget about it. Like, I'm just trading the wrong name. Like, I can say, you know, I'm trading Apple. Oh, it's good. Like, XOM, we should have been short. If we had just started shorting XOM when we shorted Apple, right now we'd be clean 90 in the money, 90 cents, right? Basically $1, and looking to go lower with the imbalance still to print in 3 minutes, to come out in 3 minutes. So as long as my stop is in, it doesn't really matter for Apple. So we'll see. My stop is a break of 211. If we get up there, we're going to get out. But this is what the imbalances look like right now. I am now going to switch these off. So I'm turning them off and just putting on NYSE and NASDAQ. So these are all from 9:30, not the broker fills. So in 3 minutes, they're all just going to populate. I just don't want to see 2 of them because I'll see broker and NYSE. I don't want to do that. So we're getting ready to go, man. We'll keep the imbalances. We'll keep them up here maybe for when it comes out, and then you can see whatever stock. I'll keep my eye on Apple because that's what I'm looking at. And with only 2 minutes to go, it's Adara, and she's at the desk.
Just quickly before we get these imbalances here, VRTX getting its highest volume candle of the day heading into the close. Vertex, this one announcing some positive results for its trial of one of its treatments. So keep an eye on VRTX here, guys, popping up with volume.
Okay. Obi, any last second words of wisdom?
Take it if it's there. If it's not, next trade. That's all.
I like it. Short and sweet. Okay, well, back to me, I guess. All right, so yeah, we're just gonna take Apple, and I don't really have too much else to say. Just thank you everybody for watching. It has been a shortened week, so volumes are gonna be a little bit lighter, as we know, but not today because of the imbalance. So we're gonna hold this against ourselves. This could definitely go wrong for us here into the close. The real trade, and this is reminding me of that Tesla trade, except for the fact that Tesla was moving tens of dollars, and it was a $600 name. Now Apple, we anticipate a small sell. So if it comes out a sell, hopefully it goes to the downside, and we'll be able to add to this position. If not, then we'll see an upside break through 211 on Apple, and we're just going to address every single trade that we can, including KKR. Look at this move. So maybe the pair off is happening as we speak, right? We'll see if that's going to come back in for KKR. Apple, Nvidia. Nvidia, by the way, just broke lower. We got stopped out, which is completely fine, man. We had 10% left of our Nvidia. Look at this thing sell off. We thought Nvidia was going to be a sell the news event. Looks like that is happening. All right, man, buckle up. Needless to say, man, as we say this, but let's wait to see what happens. We are in. Oh, we had a bid there at 50. Okay, we take some out on Apple for some reason, but here we go. We're short right now at 50. That must have been a mistake. Let's wait to see. We do have some lower bids in and around 210 in case we do get a squash move back down into the downside. So let's go. Good luck, everybody. With only 30 seconds left.
Good luck. Good luck.
And we'll get going. So. Okay, what's up, Coffee Trader and everybody else? Good luck, Obi, with that. Thank you. I know you're going to be focused, so yeah, we'll both take the wheel here and see what happens. So, all right, yeah, 10 seconds. If you, wherever you are, understand that right here in Toronto, it is 3:49:51, 52, 53. People saying, OMG. All right, so we're going to get stopped out, remember, on a breakthrough 211. So if Apple goes up, nothing I could do about it. Here it goes. I don't see any imbalances yet, but it is starting to print upside. 60s, 70s, 80s. Siri, Nvidia's a big sell. Nvidia's starting to go to the downside right now. So let's just punch a little bit short on Nvidia. I see that as a sell right now. I see Cisco as a sell. We'll check Siri just because sorry to waste your time. Just want to see what that's doing. Nothing. So Nvidia, we did punch the short. We're not huge in this. We were expecting a sell on Nvidia. I don't actually see that much else right now, Obi, as far as I'm concerned. But right there, we are into Apple short. Let's start to bid some out, as it doesn't appear to be making my dreams come true here today. But here it comes. Okay, Apple. I don't even see Apple on here. I guess it's not that big of. There it is. It's a buy, actually, for Apple. So it's going downside, and this is what can happen sometimes. We're at the highest spot we've been at all day, though, on this imbalance. Look at that. There's the short again. And let's go, man. We are planting more purple flowers here for Apple and Nvidia. Yeah, man, we're short, and we'll go over to that quickly. It ain't doing nothing. Back down to 125. Let's take a small bid here. We don't want to give up too much here on Nvidia, but not doing a whole heck of a lot. There's KKR, by the way, not doing much either. So maybe these are just waiting. It's just buying its time here. Bad move on Nvidia as it's starting to go. Great move on Apple. There's Apple, nice downside move. Despite being a buy imbalance, Apple's doing this. That is strange. Apple back to 210.
No, I don't see anything too. I guess Nvidia is kind of a big sell there, but I'm kind of watching and waiting to see something interesting come through. But yeah, that sell-off in Nvidia was quite aggressive as well. Is everything okay? What's going on?
Yeah, everything's okay. I can take it. You just continue to look, man, because I know that you've done a lot of work on this and you're looking for trades. So okay. All right. So that's Obi. What's up, Obi? All right. So we'll watch out for Nvidia again. Nvidia is going to be a tough trade here because I saw a sell and punch short. All right. I mean, the sell happened before that. The funny thing is, the trade that we really cared a lot about was Apple. So this is the one that we are banking on right now. I hope that we've done everybody proud on this one. We talked about over and over that we were shorting Apple into this. There it is, man. It's 40, 50 cents, hopefully a little bit more. We can't control that. I wanted to punch into something if we saw it. Nvidia came pretty big. I thought 11 million was decent, but then checks notes, mental notes. Dude, it's done 400 million shares today. Do you really think it matters about this? So we'll punch out a little bit now for 35 cents. 50 cents. Get out at 70 now. But look what's really puking now. It's Apple. So there goes Apple. Now Apple's hopefully going to be about $1 winner. Nice move to the downside here for Apple. Nvidia, I mean, I don't know. I'm thinking that people are thinking that Apple's going to turn itself around. And eventually switch over to a bid, or a sell, sorry. But right now, look at that trade, man. That's for me, made my whole day. We will give some back on Apple, but on Nvidia, but that story's not over yet either. What's up, eh?
Be aware here, Eli Lilly getting a nice pop up here, trying to actually end the day positive. This news coming out here that their tirzepatide, which is their obesity treatment, apparently reduced obstructive sleep apnea severity with up to 51.5%, so more than half of the participants meeting the criteria for the resolution of their obstructive sleep apnea. So some positive side effects here for Eli Lilly's obesity drug, LLY, guys.
Okay. All right, LLY. Okay, I have this in my ear because there's some other news happening right here. Okay, we are getting a monster flush right now in Apple. I don't, look at this, guys. Face slap that out. Honestly, if we didn't just sort of add some credibility to the show right now, then, I mean, look at Apple. This is a huge move to the downside. We talked about this. We were layering into it. It is by far my P&L #1 today, and Apple reigns supreme on this move to the downside. Honestly, we looked at Apple. It was a bid, but we were just supporting it. I feel like it's going to flip over. I don't even see it. I just saw Amazon somewhere on here. I told you there'd be a lot to look at. Google with a little bit of a sell as well. This is just Goog, not Google, but there's Goog to the downside as well. KKR. Downside despite a bids. Amen. Sometimes these names are going to do this to you. We got something out on Nvidia there, but Nvidia popping upside right now against us, 126.50. Again, we didn't go ham on this trade. It was more this one here on Apple. So let's just get, wow, 209 we just got? All right, Apple really falling in here. $355. Apple probably going to turn to a sell imbalance. Big trade right now. Maybe Nvidia turns to a buy imbalance, which is why it's ripping up. Bye Apple. I'm going to take another piece out here. 208.80. This is a $2 in the money. Now $2.20 in the money as Apple exploding downside. 207 we're getting right now. Hello Apple. Nice move down in for AAPL. That name is really getting clocked out right there. That's a big trade. Right now for Apple. See, Patty Ice, you can clap whenever you want, my guy. Nice move down there for Apple. Let's get going. 207.75. We just got it. I like hearing that excitement in the back, so let's go, man. Big trade alert happening. Apple for me, hopefully more for others. Good downside move right here. It's only 355. Things are starting to pair a little bit, but at the end of the day, still millions and millions of shares available right now in this space. So Nvidia, yeah, man, not good trading there as it makes that move all the way through 127. Again, on a possible buy imbalance for Nvidia. We did mention that. We saw a sell, thought it was the other way, able to get out of it, still took a hit here, but honestly, this Apple trade is now $3 in the money, and like it's really made my whole day and my whole week and everything. So good trade there. We could actually take this Nvidia and just hope for something a little bit better in case it does turn itself around here a little bit against 127. Let's try it. I know this is kind of like a little bit of a dangerous play here for Nvidia, but 127 and change. Looking to see about that one here on NVDA. So man. Yeah, again, guys, thank you so much for joining us again today. This Apple trade has really been something. So now to the bottoms. We talked about building this, and there it is. It's Apple. It's a short. Oh, we feel pretty good about it. Now let's just see if Nvidia can come back to 126, man. If not, we'll get out at 127 break. But we've done really well on Nvidia. Just too bad that we got a little bit topsy-turvy there when that hit. So, all right, let's throw to Adara. My bad.
Even more news coming out here at the last 3 minutes of the market here before close. AMC recovering a little bit here. Bloomberg reporting that it is beginning talks with its lenders to reduce debt and extend maturities. So keep an eye on AMC here, trying to make a little bit of a pop-up on volume, guys.
For that, Adara, for right now, we are looking, okay, come on. Let's just make this back. Let's see if we can get downside now. I mean, it needs to go downside a lot more than this for Nvidia, but we're making some back, so, so nothing wrong with making a little bit back. And there goes Apple. Wow, 207 and change, man. I looked over to the professor, and I'm like, I'm a buyer at 202. We may get that first thing Monday and or Tuesday, but ciao. See you later for Apple. I'm just going to read what we wrote on here. Apple, 212 short sell. Rebalance tonight. Could move lower. Apple, thank you so much. Apple, you are definitely helping my wife get the new iPhone when that comes out because, I didn't make that much money on it. We'll see what happens here. Okay, good move right here. And that was a good one, man. So boom, at the end of the day for that. Let's just check out a little bit of GameStop here just to see if there's anything popping. We did note that story was AMC. I'll go over that in a minute. We did want to see if the roaring one was doing anything, and it doesn't seem to be that way on GameStop right now. The story there from Adara, AMC, getting some more volume, but really not doing anything. So we'll pass on that. And honestly, we're almost out of Apple. We have like 5% left, almost not even. So I'm just going to get out of this. There we go. We're done. Honestly, man, that's a hot dog gun. There's not much else for me to do. That's a big trade for me. So we're just going to wait for that and get out of it. Apple. Chef's kiss for me on that one. That was just, we sort of stick our neck out a little bit there by showing you every single position that we're getting in every single day. So for me, it means a lot to be able to show that and then it work out. I mean, we all take our lumps all the time live on the show, right? And it's just a matter of being honest and showing you guys like what trades we're looking at, why we're looking at them, and try to do it. So there it is, man. Odyssey, you just made $3,000 in 2 minutes. Congratulations on that. Well, thank you for trusting me. Thank you, Sebastian and everything, and everybody else that's out there, man. It means a lot to all of us here at Trader TV. So again, KKR on the move, upside. Look at that move with just a couple minutes left in the imbalances. DNA, BBY, there's KKR. See what I said? If there's millions of shares at the end of the day, this is what could happen for KKR. Apple, again, we got out. We probably shouldn't have punched that out, but again, it was like 2 or 3%. Once it hit there, man, I basically marketed out of everything we had left. So far, so good here. Let's just get out of Nvidia. It looks like it does want to go higher here into the close. Where the hell's the countdown? I had missed it. So here we go. We will be closing in just a matter of minutes now. 3, 5, 4, 2, 1. Let's go, Adara. All right, so we will wait to see what happens now. We are still in Nvidia, of course, but so far so good there. And I just hope that it was able to be a good one for most of the traders around here. It seems like some good days, so that's good. We just got out of Nvidia right there, so good out there at 126.50. We cover our Nvidia. Oops. We actually got long there by accident. Let's punch out the rest. We are out, so that was a good close, man. We finished really good there. A good overall day. I want to thank everybody for this. Obi, take it for a minute. I'm going to go over to the desk.
Thanks for that, Sean.
It's a quick recap show. It's a 15-minute recap show.
Yeah, so again, sorry about that. I was taking a little bit of a closing trade. It worked out all right. Could have been better. There was definitely some other opportunities that may have been a lot better there. Again, Apple, you saw the Apple sell come in quite aggressive, almost 3 points. So that 210 consolidation happened for pretty much for over, what is it, from like 12 o'clock. So over 4 hours almost, and then you finally crack that consolidation low with that sell imbalance coming in 210s to 207s. Oh boy, was that a bit of a move there on Apple. So definitely a lot of I guess opportunity on that closing trade there. A nice little strong flush coming in with that imbal there. So nothing too crazy, it would seem. Okay, wow. Now you want to print a little bit lower. That's, you know what, whatever. That's fine. Next trade. Again, let's take a look at some of those large buys that were there. Right. Let's see what happened to KKR and CrowdStrike, because I know those were the big one of the biggest ones on the list there. You can go down to a 1 minute chart and kind of see what happened in and around there. So that you look at that right there at the pairing event, 355. Look at that, shoots right up. Again, that buying coming in very aggressively. Look at that expanding volume. So you only had a couple of seconds really to get in on that one there. KKR bidding extremely aggressive back to the upside there, printing a high of 109.07s on the day. Again, shout out to Sean for kind of covering most of that session there, those last few minutes as well. But yeah, what was the other one? CrowdStrike, CRWD there. So, all right, cool. CrowdStrike, oh boy, look at this one. So when was that? Was that the 50 candle? That was the 50 candle when we get that update. And right on the 50 candle, again, those algos are on the ball. And those algos are on the ball right off the bat, taking that buy up and then kind of consolidating. And then you have a continuation for another couple of points for a high of 381, and I think the print was in and around, what's that last print there? 380.49. So I guess, yeah, you got a few pennies as well if you got in a little bit later. But solid trade. Hopefully you guys took advantage of that closing trade there. But without any further ado, I'll see you guys around. We're going to pass it over to the big desk with Adara and Sean. Take it easy, guys. Have a good one.
I'm great, but how are you doing? Because you just had that awesome trade there.
I'm doing all right. I mean, it's this is why we're here. We're here for these kind of days.
Oh, yeah.
We're here to talk about trading. We're here to put on some trades. We're here to show trades. We're here to discuss why we think these are good trades. And honestly, at that last move there for Apple was pretty good. And we're pretty happy with that move today. So this is going to be a very abbreviated market recap show. I was able to book my all-girls team has a game. And that's going to be at 6:15. Yeah, so I'm out of here for that, and we're just going to do this real quick. I got to give a big shout out to Obi. Thank you so much, Obi, for filling in this week out of nowhere. I mean, Neil obviously hurt his Achilles there, so Obi filled in today and Tuesday, I guess it was, because Neil was here yesterday. As you can hear, it's getting a little bit loud in here.
Yeah,
and again, it's I hope everyone has a great weekend. It's okay. I like it if it's loud. That's all good if it's loud. Ramin is cracking the whip over there. The whole idea behind it is today's a special day, right? It's the rebalance, it's the half-year rebalance, and we did have some big moves to talk about. I mean, what a move downside for Apple there at the end of the day. I mean, this is just a daily chart. Apple's given it back a lot, man. You're almost down 10% from that high. Who would have thought Apple would be down 8% there in just 3 days? Well, I mean, what goes up must come down, and if we just flip it back over to a 1-minute chart, we were short this whole move, Adara. And, you know, that really gave it up there into the close. We knew that Apple, we talked about that XLK talk there, where Nvidia had to be up and Apple had to be down. Well, Nvidia actually threw me for a loop because when Nvidia came for a sell imbalance, I actually punched short there. But look, it actually does what the research said it would do. It went back up to the upside.
Yeah.
So that's a missed opportunity for me. We did throw some money back. I'm still happy with Apple. Look, that was... we're fine with it, but a little bit irresponsible by just sort of just seeing that sell imbalance and punching in immediately. It's okay, we learned our lesson and we didn't use a whole bunch of shares, but again, good day here so far today. What did you learn about the imbalances at all today?
I mean, I think it was really interesting to watch because initially you had that move down in the SPY and then it came back up a little bit before falling back down. I think it really learns you have to take things on a second-by-second basis, try to take everything in the balance. The evidence says something Sharif says a lot. And again, like I think too, if you have that conviction or confidence, which you had in the Apple, I think for whatever reason you have that for, go for it. I did not trade the imbalance. Like I said, I only trade during the midday because I'm mostly, of course, here for the show. But I think this was, just watching it was really cool. That was one thing Neil said to me yesterday, watch the imbalances, and I want to shout out Neil, hope he's feeling better.
Yeah, I'm sure he is. I'm going to, well, yeah, he's not really feeling bad per se. It's just he can't move his foot.
No, yeah, but I mean, like that, you know, like.
Oh yeah, I mean,
his foot to.
Yeah. We all hope for the best for him, and he'll be back. Whether or not he needs surgery or not, we'll figure that all out.
Yeah.
Very, very soon. Okay. Let's look at some numbers that some traders put up yesterday here. We will go over the imbalances. This is here from Real Trading from yesterday. 38,000 one trader, 24,000 another trader. Someone on New York and NASDAQ, 14,000, 14,000 again, NASDAQ. New York and NASDAQ, 11,000. 6,000 in Canada as we go down. Many more different opportunities here at Real Trading as it does continue. Today was actually a red day in the market. Get out of my ear. Today was actually a red day in the market as the NASDAQ finishes down 0.21. But again, pretty flat and pretty just like, I don't know, consolidating, I guess, into the end of the day there.
Yeah.
NASDAQ didn't move a lot in that last minute, but it's despite the move down at the end of the day. XPI, I talked about this. I don't know what was up with this at the end of the day there for XPI. I'm guessing, again, some imbalance news on whatever's heavily weighted here. But nice move back up for XPI. And again, we know that this is the biotech. So Moderna, Eli Lilly had a good move. Eli Lilly.
Lilly to move into the close. They had a catalyst that close.
Can you believe that's 9 bills right now? Eli Lilly.
Eli, like 9 billy, more like.
That's a couple billy right there.
Yeah.
Adara, I'm just going to log in so I can show everybody what we did there at the end of the day because you wrote down trade review. What was your best trade today?
So none of the trades were particularly amazing or anything like that, but I did have some fun on AMD. I took a short of AMD. I think it was 162. We broke below the level. I took it into previous support around I think I got like 50 pennies on it, took half out at 80s, took the rest out at 160, 150. So that was probably my best trade. But I think a lot of it was just like learning, don't take every opportunity, be more cognizant about share sizing. Today was a rough, week was a rough week, but you know what? There's always a new next week today. Next week. What was your best trade, the Apple or?
Yeah, we had a couple of bangers. We had a couple of bangers. Let's just quickly look over here at the heat map real quick, just to see get a feel for the land here. So my guy over there at Tim Hortons, me and Randy went there. We got a coffee, and you know what question I got asked about? When are we buying the dip on Nvidia? So I'm standing there in line. Dude comes up to me. When are we buying the dip in Nvidia?
What did you say?
Soon. Yeah, I mean, I think that I told him we got to get through this rebalance. We got to get through some of the negativity there, just in how far it's run.
Yeah.
And, it is going to pull back. We saw a 22% pullback about 2 months ago. So that is something that could be happening right there. So Nvidia down today, down 4%. Another name that we all love that just keeps on getting raised, upbeats, everything. AVGO. I mean, how much do we love Broadcom? Broadcom down 4% today. Come on. That probably needs to be bought. Google with all-time all-time highs today for Google.
Crazy.
So that was really crazy. I really think Amazon has a great chance of going up. How often do you get to buy Costco on dips? That's down 1.5% today, so that's something there. And then Eli Lilly, although down 0.1, does get a little bump up there. McDonald's up 2% as they release.
Yeah, they're value meals.
Yeah. Their value meal, I don't know what it is. I thought it was going to be $5 across the United States.
That's what I heard. Yeah, $5
That's pretty
value.
cheap. But what is that, like a junior chicken or something like that? I mean, I still it's probably all right. Huh? No. They're releasing a new meal. Don't worry about it, Fabian. Okay, so Fabian's all worried about it. He likes the junior chicken. He wants to make sure you get that. Fabian, what's your order at McDonald's? Oh, a junior chicken and a McDouble. Oh, you know there's like a secret menu.
What's the secret menu?
No, don't worry, secret. Okay, so stay tuned, man. You don't know the McDonald's secret menu?
I don't go to McDonald's that much. I get my baby cheeseburger. That's all I get.
Yeah, but no, you have to make it yourself.
How do you do that?
You have to like buy multiple things. You put like, you can have like a chicken Big Mac and stuff like that.
I'm gonna have to do that.
They're all called something. I didn't even know this until I think one of my kids was like, oh, I want to go to McDonald's and get like a Godfather Big Mac or something. I was like, what's that? And they're like, oh, it's a Big Mac with like two chicken patties. I'm like, no.
I need to.
I'm not having like a beef and chicken thing like that. I'm sure I've had that before, but it's like
a surf and turf, but like a chicken and burger.
Yeah, like a hen and something.
Where's the beef? I don't know.
All right. This is what happens this is why I don't do the recap show all the time anymore. I just had to give it over to Neil.
Yeah,
because we're really losing.
Spiraling,
it spirals way out of control when I'm up here every single time. Okay, so here, this is the trade of the day for me. So it's a trade review. Why don't we just do this real quickly? We only have a couple more minutes, and then I got to scram, and I apologize for that. We will be doing full shows all next week, forever. But I do promise, Fabian, for you, we'll even stay later next week, okay? All right, I got you. All right, so we wrote down on the sticky note 212 today. Now, we really liked Apple up here at 212. It turns out that that's exactly the high of the day. I mean, you got to get lucky to write down exactly the high. But we faded this whole move. Short, all the time short. We only got stopped out, I think, once of our short.
Wow.
And actually, no, we didn't. Oh yeah, we did. It was right at the end of the day. We got stopped out somewhere in here. But anyways, once that imbalance came out, look at these shorts. We were shorting, and then boom. And we talked about planting purple flowers. I mean, this was a good amount of shares, probably the most Apple shares we've had in a while, so that's good.
That's awesome.
Yeah, and we had an out. We talked about our out being at 211. We've had Brian Shannon on the show a lot. We could probably get off of this, but anyways, that's just 210.50, 210.60, 207.80.
Oh.
So you're looking at roughly 250, 260 on the best parts of that. We did get a whole bunch out here into the end of the day.
That's awesome.
Into that pass. Yeah, it was a good trade. So we're happy for it, but you know. And again, this is why I told you stop saying sometimes, and me and you talked about this.
Yeah, we did.
Yeah, it's not like, oh, I just took a loser, but I'm gonna try to do better. It's like, that trade's over with. So sometimes I try to like forget about it.
Where's the next trade?
Yeah, where's the next trade?
Yeah.
You don't worry about losing trades because we're all gonna have losing trades on sometimes. And again, join us on the Freedom and Wealth podcast. You gotta get those negative thoughts out of there.
I appreciate that.
Because the more we think about, I'm not having a good day, let me see if I could do something.
Yeah.
All right, so at the end of the day here, Apple with a nice downside move. That was a good one. I still think you can buy Apple on dips. I'm looking to buy Apple here, $200, honestly. I like the stock. That's the gap fill. Let's fill it back. It's going to be on I think it's on your week, next week today. What's it called?
The
Tomorrow?
week ahead?
That makes more sense.
Apple's not on it this week, no.
But should be a trade. My
Nvidia's on it. ARM's on it. You can find out everything else on it at
my trade of the week, though, that should be on there is Apple, and that's coming back in. So if Apple falls into 200, we will check that out if that does come in. So again, thank you so much. Right there, pro day trader. I don't know what this means, but 38,000. I don't know if you made that in one day or I did or someone else did. One trader, gotta love it. There it is. So again, congratulations right there to Pro Day Trader and everybody else that had a lot of fun with us today. Let's just quickly, that's that. We can go back over and have a quick look at some sector recaps. I want to thank everybody for being here so we can do this too. T-minus 1 minute. We're not playing around. We are out of here in 1 minute, Adara.
Gotta go.
I'm already live. I've already been on for 8 hours. All right. Let's see what's up to everybody right now. All right, 20 losing trades in a row gets boring. Yeah, I don't know who you're referencing there, but I agree with that one. You don't want to sit there and lose 20 times in a row, Mr. Piper. But it is roll call right now. You know what? I think there's something to say about this 1320 Wolf trading patterns and moving averages. Yeah, sometimes So moving averages and patterns are, in my opinion, just good to confirm ideas that you got to develop from somewhere else. You know, it's like, these things go through my head all the time, but it's like, if I wasn't already thinking short and it's on the sticky note there for Apple, then I wouldn't have even been paying attention to any moving averages. And you didn't hear me at one point talk anything about moving averages or patterns or anything on that Apple trade. We were looking at that 211 resistance level, and then we were looking at that move down based on research and conviction into that close. So shout out to Sebastian, shout out to Darwin, shout out to Jared Tweedle. We used to have a Jarhead, but
there is a Jarhead sometimes, but this is Jared.
I'll shout out Jarhead as well, whether or not he's watching or not. But this is Jared. So what up, Jared Tweedle? What's up to T Daddy? Rivian Millionaire. I hope you're still printing on those Rivian shares. NYC Urbanista. Next time I'm in NYC, let's hook up for sure. Daniel TH Pillsbury D Westermeyer. It keeps getting better, says Mr. Westermeyer. 1320 Wolf says, LOL Ram. Y Brothers United says, that is the best weekend for me. 1,200% in Nvidia. Congratulations to you, Y Brothers, man. Means a lot as well. Traders stay late, and we all do. But you know what? We're not staying late today.
We are not.
So, Adara, weekend plans.
I'm hanging out with my friend on Sunday, and then I have to do dental work tomorrow.
Dental work. I had
What about you?
I had cavities for a minute there, and I think I had to fill 2 of them. I hate getting cavities all filled
My
up.
dentist is the worst. So, yeah. Good.
That's positive talk again.
I'm usually very optimistic, Sean. I have a lot of optimism on
So you know what you should do? Go in tomorrow and be like, man, this is going to be a great. See you, Obi. Thanks again, man. I go in tomorrow saying this is going to be the greatest dental appearance you've ever had. And put that smile on, and trust me, you'll have a great time. It's hopefully we get to go golfing. Hopefully we have a couple baseball practices. We have a baseball game tonight. And we have a surprise. My wife has a surprise for me, and it's Father's Day related. We were busy last weekend. We were traveling. So Sunday afternoon, I'll be doing something.
Nice.
Surprise. So I don't know what.
That's fun.
It should be
That's
fun.
awesome.
Apparently
Good
it's
luck
weather.
in your game.
Apparently it's weather pending.
Nice.
So we have an all-girls rep game tonight, and then House League 1 tomorrow. So it should be a lot of fun. All right, thank you so much for joining again today. This is your market recap show, although very, very abbreviated, but I think that's good. It's Friday. You know, we're going to chill out again, and I'm already over time. So hey, for Trader TV Adara, I am Trader TV Sean, and this is Trader TV Live. Make sure you join us every single day at 8:30 and throughout the day as we have programming for you until the market closes. And hey, even after the market closes.
After, look at that.
Check out the Freedom and Wealth podcast, and thank you so much for joining us today. I will see you on Monday. Have a great weekend. Ciao, everybody.